Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And yes, I am not Gerald G. Glassford. This is Joe Soro, and you're watching the Lakers Fast Break post-game show for the LA Lakers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. LA went to Milwaukee on the back end of a back-to-back day or two and annihilated Milwaukee. There were some comebacks here and there, the usual runs, which is pretty much what Milwaukee looked like today, a bunch of runs. But they did make a couple shots there in the third quarter. They did win the third quarter. They did try to make a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter to no avail. The Lakers weathered it. Luka told everyone in the world that he's still Luka Doncic. Austin Reaves helped out a little bit as well. And they went ahead and finished the Milwaukee Bucks to finish this little road trip out east in the southeast, finishing up in the Midwest, 119-95. I mean, it was pretty much the Lakers from beginning to end. And we're very proud. We're very proud of the Lakers on this little run here. We weren't so happy after the Oklahoma City game, but I think the reason why I was upset was because there was a little bit of PTSD involved in the way they played. But in reality, it really was probably one of those games where they just didn't have it and it's just clocked out early. Those games tend to happen usually throughout an 82-game season, and it looks like they kind of got themselves back where they need to be. Winning again, guys. Winning 3 out of the 5 games on the road was pretty good for a team that's still missing LeBron James. So right now, the Lakers are 10-4. If we were to go back in preseason or the summer and say, look, 10-4 after the first, or I would have even said 10-5 after the first 15 games, which was right around the number that I thought LeBron would miss. It's looking like he's going to miss probably 15, maybe even 17. I think maybe he'll come back. I think if I look at the schedule right now, I think he's probably going to come back maybe for the Clipper game on Tuesday, the 25th, if I had to take a guess. They may sit him down for the 2 Utah games and then probably bring him back for the Clipper game. So I think that's kind of where I've assessed that. And I was trying to type your name in so you could not be Joe Soro, but I guess you didn't have enough patience. So welcome. John Casa has joined us here on the Lakers Fast Break, Solano basketball's finest. So we went into this game because we're so cynical and so damaged as a Laker fan base. We went into this game thinking that it was going to be a difficult back end of a back-to-back, even though last year they were actually pretty good in the second game of a back-to-back, and it's looking like they're continuing that. If I look at the schedule now from the back-to-backs so far this year, what are we looking at here? They lost the one against Portland, and then they won this one. So far they're 1-1 in the second game of a back-to-back. I guess I'll take that for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Joe. I thought this was a scheduled loss for us. I mean, not only the back to back, but also, I mean, you were on my playback early in the game. We were starting Bronny James. I mean, I was almost guaranteed that this was gonna be a bad loss, but you'd love to see everyone step up. My only thing, Joe, that I would say for this game, this is also, a similar take that I had to that Pelicans game that we seen yesterday. It's just a lack of focus and lack of concentration, right? I mean, we go up so big early in the game. We work up such a big lead, and then, early in that third quarter, we allowed them to go on that 15-0 run. And even to that Pelicans game as well. So many times we would take a lead, and then I think it's, lack of focus, lack of just staying locked in. We would allow them to work themselves back into this game. Now, granted, I don't think this was nearly as bad as last night, because last night we were playing literally the worst team in the league, and Luka had to play 40 minutes. But even tonight, I mean, I'm looking here at how many minutes he played. Luka played 38, right? Luka played 38, Austin played 36. And still, I think this is something that a game that could have been kind of put out a little bit earlier than what it was. But nonetheless, Joe, a win is a win, and I'm happy to be here, brother. And I just got home right now, and my girl was like, "Oh, are you gonna go stream?" And I was like, Joe Soro is on by himself. I cannot not go stream with.
Well, let's put this in a little bit of perspective here. I am not going to feel sorry for anyone that's 27, 26, 25, 24, 24, 27, and Nick Smith got some run there, and so did Adu. So, and they're both 21. And of course, Jared Vanderbilt, God help us all, is 26. Those guys should not be affected by back-to-back games. Those guys are not supposed to be affected by 3 games in 4 nights. They shouldn't be in any way affected by 4 games in 5 nights. These guys are thoroughbreds. These guys are some of the most healthy, trained athletes on the planet. I expect these guys to play very well in these games because their age says so and their talent says so. And I didn't schedule this as a loss. I was looking at this game as you better get your shit together and you all better play. Now, starting Bronny was a huge surprise. And there was a couple things I thought of during that moment of finding out that he was going to start. I said, how long is he going to be in the game before he gets pulled out? And it turned out he only was in there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Ronnie James has improved in certain areas in certain times of the game, but it's not, his game will never adapt to primetime games, primetime talented stuff. It's just, he has no business starting. He has barely any business playing, in my view, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. He had a nice pass to do there at the end, and I will give him props to that for that. But that's garbage time stuff is garbage time stuff. Unfortunately, I don't look at it as anything other than that. But the Lakers were very, very effective on defense. I thought their switching was great tonight. I thought obviously Luka was on fire tonight. Reaves did what he needed to do, and of course, let's give props to Deandre Ayton. I think Deandre Ayton controlled the paint very well and dropped 20 and 10, which. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton dropping 20 and 10, you're going to win a lot of games. That's just what's going to happen. And Laravia can't seem to find his shot right now, but he did play good team defense. He was getting after the boards. The player that we've been hoping that could get some things going has been Dalton Connect. He didn't shoot too bad tonight, but I wish he could shoot more. And then Jackson Hayes was his athletic self. So in the end, the usual suspects came through, the guys that we needed to come through, and they did come through. And the Lakers pretty much really controlled this. I didn't look at even those little runs that Milwaukee were making as any issue. I think you can't in today's NBA do what you used to do 10 years ago and before that, where you could prepare the team to basically sit the fourth quarter. It just doesn't work like that. Hey, Craig, how you doing, brother? You just can't. You cannot do it. These guys are going to shoot threes, and if you're up 20, they're going to shoot 3 threes in a row, make 3 threes in a row, and then it's an 11-point game. Then you got to call timeout, and then you got to regroup. That wasn't the case before. Before, they may have gotten 3 baskets in a row, but they're still down 14 versus 11. That there's a huge difference there. That's an extra possession and a half in a lot of ways that you save by coming back and making a run. And it's just not, the NBA is truly a 48-minute game, and you got to be prepared for it. But the Lakers have a winning record out of this 5-game road trip. They lost in Atlanta, which is not out of the norm. For those of you who don't know, Atlanta is just, I don't know what it is in Atlanta. I don't know what the boys do over there. It doesn't matter whether it was Kobe's team, Shaq's team. I'm talking about since the beginning of the century. Since 2000, this is crazy. Since 2000, the Lakers have lost half the time in Atlanta. So you play Atlanta once a year in Atlanta, right? You obviously haven't played Atlanta in playoffs because they would have to meet them in the finals. That hasn't happened. So in 26 meetings in this century, the Lakers have lost 13 times in Atlanta. So I don't know what it is. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what team they had. Championship teams, bad teams, good teams, half teams, doesn't matter. They seem to lose there half the time. So that one I kind of brushed off. The one that bothered me was how they came out in the Oklahoma City game and kind of quit after about 5 minutes. I think that was really what bothered me on that. But they made up for it by whooping New Orleans and then really whooping Milwaukee. And here we are now going back to LA on a short 1-game at home game with Utah before they'll go back to Utah, and then they'll be back in LA to hopefully see LeBron there against the Clippers in the crypt.
Joe, when you were saying about the Lakers losing to the in Atlanta, I looked up how long has Magic City been open, and Magic City has been open since 1985. And I think that has a lot to do with why every reason they go to Atlanta. Every time we go to Atlanta, it's the L.
Well, I don't know much about Magic City. We were talking. Someone had mentioned chicken wings, and
Yeah.
I blamed Lou Williams for that. So I know Atlanta is an eccentric city. Most of America doesn't know how eccentric Atlanta is. I have friends who have spent a lot of time in Atlanta, Savannah, Georgia, guys that played at Georgia State. I'm familiar with the South due to friends of mine who have lived there.
Mhm.
And some have said that Atlanta, in a lot of ways, is almost like the LA version of the Southeast. I don't know what that means fully unless I'm clear on exactly what that means, which it sounds like it is. But LA doesn't mesh well in Atlanta, and it's been like that for a very long time. It's almost like the whole Portland thing, except until when LeBron got here. When LeBron got to LA, for some weird reason, LA started winning in Portland. So he almost cured that disease, right? The Lakers suck in Portland. They sucked in Portland for years, even through the 80s. But for some reason, LeBron comes to the Lakers and they're winning in Portland. I wish he could help them out in Atlanta a little bit. They have kind of cured the Charlotte thing a little bit, but Atlanta still seems to be an issue. I let that go, especially with Atlanta hitting every shot imaginable in that game. It was just one of those games. It was the same night I was hanging out with my boy Empire Jeff before we were going to have dinner with him and his family. We were watching at his house. First time I watched the Laker game with him, and of course it had to be that game. But again, the Oklahoma City Thunder thing was a measuring stick. And the Lakers have been playing well against them, regardless of where they were playing. And I thought it was a letdown. I thought they gave up. If they were playing their rear ends off and they lost by 10, 15 points, it would have been a different story. But they looked like they quit not too long after they started the game. But get back to, I guess, where you have to be in a little bit, get that stuff off your back, and then they end up winning the next two games and winning tonight in a pretty much a blowout from beginning to end, which to me kind of cures a little bit of the issue there.
Joe, can I ask you a question, brother?
Yes.
So I have been growing very frustrated with Jake LaRavia as of late. When he first came onto the team, as you know, I've stated many times, like I just didn't see the vision as to why he was on a team. Besides the fact of this is Austin's homie, and then he had like that 27-point game, that 25-point game, just looked a lot more confident. But since then, his numbers have been 5 points, 6 points, attempting 1 3 per game, attempting two threes per game. Last game, the Pelicans game, he attempted 0 threes per game. So honestly, like I'm kind of getting to a point where not only am I frustrated with the output and from what we're seeing with him, but also I'm frustrated with just simply the confidence, right? Like he's playing with no confidence out there. I don't know if you saw that in that game when he had, I think he got the rebound. He was dribbling the ball. Joe, he wasn't even looking at the hoop. He was just looking like to who he's going to pass it to. I'm like, yo, I totally understand. You want to get the ball in Luka's hands, to get the ball in Austin's hands. Makes total sense. You get the ball in your best player's hands, but at least keep the defense guessing. At least keep the defense honest by being like, all right, well, he's a threat to score. He's a triple threat looking to get to the hoop. He wasn't even looking to do that. And honestly, I'm growing real tired of this guy, not only just because of the output. And I'm not saying I need you to give me 27, 25 every night. No. I'm not asking for that. But what I'm asking for is for you to play with confidence and don't look lost, because exactly what CJ said. LaRavia just looked lost out there. So wanted to get your thoughts on LaRavia, and I'm gonna grab my charger real quick because my computer is at 5%. But I'm here.
Yeah, the issue with LaRavia definitely is confidence. He's putting in the effort on defense and seems to be confused a lot. And having Doncic be such a ball dominant player and Austin Reaves being somewhat ball dominant, it's the security blanket and the fear of dribbling and making a mistake. Laravia looks like he's worried about making mistakes.
Absolutely. And that's not how you play.
That needs to likely come from within with him. It doesn't look like JJ Redick's one of those guys that has patience for kind of weak-minded stuff, which I'm going to probably relate to in a lot of ways. Probably one of the few things I do like. I've always liked about JJ, no matter what he's done. He's got to get out of it, though. I mean, the fact that they were able to blow out Milwaukee in Milwaukee, and he only scored, 4 points? He was 1 of 10 from the field. Imagine if he had hit, 4 of 10 out of off the, this might have been a 30-point game the entire run. He's got to figure something out. Yeah, he's got to figure out a way to get better spacing when Luka is drawing the double teams. When they're doing drop coverage, you got to create the space. You got to get to the spot so that you can make them pay. You have to make the defense pay if Luka is going to the paint.
Absolutely.
Because then drop coverage becomes a nightmare for everyone that's guarding Luka and the Lakers. If you're hitting those shots, it's not just Luka, it's not just drop coverage. It's any team that has a player that is ball dominant, that can get to any spot that they want. And if you're going to drop a second guy on them, you have to make them pay, because then the second guy can't really guard you. He can't really guard Luka. And if you're half-assing in any way against a Luka, heck, even an Austin to some degree, and you will have that ability to with LeBron when LeBron gets back. Now what? Now what are you going to do? If LeBron James, and again, I followed LeBron obviously as a Laker, and I followed him as much as I can when he was a Cav and Miami Heat. LeBron James, if he had the same guys for, let's say, 10 years, the same guys that can hit shots. I know it's hard in the NBA, but egos and contracts and all that. But if he had the same team in terms of being able to hit shots consistently over and over again and play good defense, he probably would have won more championships. But again, the way the NBA is set up never works. So when he has had it, that's when he wins. So he now has someone like Luka there to kind of brush off a little bit of the pressure, and then you have Austin, who also can play in that manner as well. Use these things to your advantage. Laravia, connect. Just do something mentally, right? I don't know how else to tell you to do it. They're either going to do it or they don't. They're not going to do it, right? Know that you guys are going to have 3 guys that are going to be feeding you that ball, because they're going to have to do drop coverage on these guys, and they're going to have to shade a second defender there. Make them pay. You're going to have open shots your entire time here. Make it work. So I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I hear he's got to make it work. And to your exact point, he's going to probably get the most open looks that he will in his career, playing next to great players like Luka and Austin. But so far he has not been making it work, and nor has he been confident. And, to our both our points, I just think he's out there playing not to make a mistake. And as someone that's played basketball, that's the worst way to play, playing not to make a mistake. And
that's the thing is making mistakes. Okay. What are the mistakes? Are you worried about dribbling? Are you worried about dribbling? There's plenty of guys in the NBA that can't dribble. I get it. But you gotta practice the moments you do get the rebounds. The ball's going to bounce your way. You're going to get that rebound. Now what are you going to do to put the team in the right position to run the plays? The NBA recently went from 24 second to 14 after a missed shot, right? So that puts more urgency in that. So you got to practice your timing in your head. Those are the little things that I always talk about when we're talking basketball and when, how to, again, I haven't had the privilege of playing in the NBA, but I have played basketball many a times. Granted, I didn't play under a clock, at least not all the time, but your sense of urgency it's no different than anything else in life. Like you have to adapt. Your body needs to adapt to that speed. That's why basketball is so hard for young players. It doesn't matter how great they are. It's still an adjustment that they have to get naturally. Basketball, you cannot, honestly, in my 30-plus years of watching basketball, you cannot, no matter what, learn that speed in any other way than experience.
Facts.
You cannot. Basketball players in the NBA are not your regular football player types. Football players are big, don't get me wrong. But you can play small in the NFL. You can play small in baseball. You can play small in hockey. You really can't play small in the NBA. It's very hard. That's why AI was so touted when, as dominant as he was. This guy was 5'10", 5'11", doing what he was doing. And Kobe had even said this. He said, if AI was 6'6", we'd all be in trouble. Right? So size matters. Size, timing, because I remember the first time, and it was really the last time, I played against a guy that was 6'8" and skilled, right? I could not get a damn basket under the basket. And that was my thing. I Charles Barkley my way if I ever got into a problem. He was swatting every move I was making. It didn't matter.
Get it shot off, right?
I couldn't get shit off. I had to go to the perimeter and start hitting shots. Otherwise, I had no chance, right? So now imagine this. And again, we've talked about this with Vanderbilt. We've talked about this with other players. LaRavia is not a small guy. And this is the thing. This is all in his head. Like, dude, you're 6'8".
Bro.
What the hell are you worried about?
Right.
Use your fundamentals. Use your fundamentals. When they teach you how to grab the ball, when you get a rebound, move your elbows, right? Move them around. Don't put them up here. Put them down here and create space. And then look. And try not to give Luka the ball at the edge of half court, at least, please. I mean, he'll get it, but then they're going to drop the second guy, and then he's got to pass it over the – like, all these things, I'm not at practice. I'm not seeing them do this. I'm assuming that they're not doing it just from what I've seen on the court. So now and maybe they don't have time. I don't know. I don't know if, we all know the NBA doesn't practice anymore, right? But this is something that needs to be coached into him. And it needs to be explained. Hey, I wish somebody would ask. So, LaRavia, Jake, be all like personal with him, right? Like, Jake, what's going on? Like, are you a step behind in terms of the process? Are you a step behind with how the offense is run? Are you worried about turning the ball over? What's the current situation right now? And then see how he answers the question. Well, I'm going to be honest. I feel like I'm out of rhythm right now. I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Okay, fine. Okay, that's fine. I get it. You've only been playing with this team for 15 games. But LaRavia is going to be an integral part of this team down the road because he can shoot. He has the size. He has the athleticism. He's a young guy. And this is exactly what this team needs. This team needs these guys like him, guys like Connect, to be what they are supposed to be, which is play good defense, have the energy, and hit open shots on a regular basis. But I still got to see what happens when LeBron gets back. Is this team going to be what they are right now? And is everybody going to shift? The positive in terms of what this team has done already and won. Mind you, guys, think about this for a second. LeBron hasn't played a game yet, and this team is 10-4.
Yeah.
As much as I've had issues with LeBron, this team is going to get better with LeBron if LeBron allows himself to not exert himself, because I think that's kind of what I'm waiting on. Is LeBron going to be a part of that contingency where he should be playing less than 30 minutes a game? LeBron shouldn't exceed more than 29 minutes a game with this team now. With
in
LeBron
the regular season
and with Austin, you know what I mean? Like, he should be at 29. He should be below 30 minutes because in the end, we're going to need LeBron to be LeBron those last 4 series.
Yes.
In April, May, June.
Joe, we've known each other for some time now, honestly, and then we've talked basketball a lot. You know, we go on here almost after every Lakers game. So that was probably the nicest thing I've ever heard you say about LeBron. I'll be honest with you. And I love that you said it. I'll be real. I love that you said it because I'm gonna be honest. That this has been one of my biggest, like, I've just been so taken back by how the world has just forgotten who LeBron James is. Like, I've actually seen, Joe, I'll be honest with you. I've seen people genuinely believe we are going to become worse when LeBron comes back. And I'm like, all right, well, if you guys think something like that, then you clearly have a personal vendetta against LeBron James, and you clearly have not been watching basketball for the last I don't know, decade plus, more than a decade, right? So first of all, I say that to say I love that you give LeBron his props, but at the same time, I love that we're also still being real. Both myself and you, I mean, we're on 2 different spectrums of the LeBron train, right? We're on 2 different spectrums of the LeBron train, but both myself and you can agree that if we can just have him in the regular season be on that that minute restrictions on, like you said, play no more than 30 minutes in a regular season, because in the regular season, guess what? We are good enough to win with AR. We are good enough to win with Luka, as we've seen. I think we're sitting at what, like 10-4 now, right? 10-4 as of today after this win against the Bucks. So as we've seen, we're good enough in the regular season to get these wins. But it's when the playoffs comes around is when we need him to, be healthiest, to have gelled with the team, and for that to be possible. And if we can keep him around that 30-minute mark, and then have him come, and then when playoffs comes around, really allow LeBron to be able to play like LeBron style basketball and do what LeBron does, then I think is when we'd be in our best shape. But I do think it's crazy how people would really, get on here and say, yo, we're going to be better without LeBron. Like, I think that's a wild statement in the long term. And if we're trying to win a championship.
Yeah, well, I think those who say that are trying to speak it into existence.
What do you mean?
They're trying to set it up so that when it goes wrong, see, I told you. Because they're expecting LeBron Diva to be the issue. LeBron is going to slow the team down. LeBron is going to take the ball out of Luka's hands, and Luka's not going to be able to do what he does. That's what they're hoping for. So I had a few people ask me a question after the 2020 title. They said, "Well, what would you do if LeBron won 2 more titles? And are you going to start saying, hey, him and Kobe?" And I'm like, listen, bud. I love Kobe. And the reason why I love Kobe is obviously he was a Laker for 20 years. And he was my age, God rest his soul. We are from the same generation. I still relate to the Kobe and how he does things. Mm-hmm. But if LeBron won 7 titles in a row, I'd be the biggest cheerleader on the planet.
Because you're a winner.
I am about winning, folks.
Come on.
I don't give a shit about LeBron's legacy, Kobe's legacy. Like, I don't care. I mean, when I say I don't give a shit, I mean, I care about the Lakers' legacy. I don't sit around and look at Kobe's 5 championships. I don't. Matter of fact, you'll get this, guys, for those of you who know me. When I saw him go 5 after he beat the Celtics, the first feeling I had was, why is he saying 5? Right?
Like, it's not saying.
I know why he's saying 5, but I'm like, it's not 5, it's 16. It's 16.
That's real. That's
To
real.
me, that's the number that I want to hear.
That's
I want to
real.
hear 16. I don't want to hear. We have one more left so that they can at that time, tie the Celtics. And I was so excited. The 2020 title win, the reason why it was more exciting was because they finally caught up to these a-holes.
Right.
That was actually what really made it even better, right? And my excitement after that was, man, we're going to pass the Celtics next year. Because I was like, there's no way you're going to, like, AAD, he had better individual seasons, like, in 16 and 17 with New Orleans, but he was never that dominant. Like, I never saw him dominate like he did in 2020 from beginning to end, right? Like from before COVID and after COVID. So I was pretty sure, okay, maybe let's say if they don't even get it in 2021, they're going to get it in 2022. I was very, very comfortable saying this team's going to win a second title. There's no way it's not. And we're going to finally pass the Celtics. But of course, we saw what happened with bad decisions after that, and we were able to get it. So in the end here, guys, you guys have to understand something. The NBA has created this bipolar back and forth, even for someone like me, because one game, there was a time when these teams would play consistently. There would be an identity. The Spurs played a certain way. The Lakers played a certain way. The Warriors played a certain way. Miami Heat played a certain way. The Suns played a certain way. The Dallas Mavericks played a certain way. And there was the same thing over and over again. Yes, they won and they lost. They went on winning streaks. Sometimes they went on losing streaks. But they were the same identity on all these. Now, I see a team that goes from A to Z in back-to-back nights sometimes. It doesn't make any sense. So now I got to be critical. Like, what the hell are these idiots doing? Why are they completely, like, not playing like they are supposed to play? And that's the commentary. It's why you. Oh my God, Joe said something nice about LeBron James. Well, let me say this: the only way the Lakers are winning a championship this year is if LeBron James plays well.
Right.
There's $52 million allocated to just him, and they're gonna need that guy to do what he needs to do to help this team win. How he puts himself in this setup right now, that will definitely be up to LeBron, and hopefully he can blend in real well. We have our good. Yeah, this is where we are. So
dog, man.
Let's go.
So welcome.
Remember last time we were together, boys?
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't think. When was the last time it was three of us?
Well, the last time we were all together was when the Luka trade happened, man, in Feb.
Shit,
remember that? Like, John,
you remember that.
chopped off to do your recap. And then you had
yeah, John initially said it was a bad trade. Peaced out. Did his 3 minutes.
I did.
And then I think somebody slapped him in the face. Then he came back.
That was me.
Yeah,
we got worse, dog. I'm like,
I think I got slapped by every LFB member, and then I was just like, all right, wait, let y'all slap the sense back into me, and then I was like, wait, no, this is a great trade.
That was epic. But thanks for having me on, boys. Yeah,
no problem. Welcome, Nick. This is a Luka-centric offense. So if you want the ball out of Luka's hands, what we just discussed the first 30 minutes of this thing, LaRavia, the connects, the guys outside need to start making their shots. Now, the problem with that is, as much as I love Marcus Smart in terms of his tenacity and his defense, he is not a good shooter either. So JJ is going to have to figure out matchups by the games and seeing how he can use him in certain spots, but he's not going to be hitting shots. And if LaRavia and Connect, which is why they're there, aren't going to hit their shots, you're going to see a lot more Luka with the ball because he's the only one that can make the shots. And then you also have a problem with Austin Reaves, who sometimes needs the ball in his hands too to make shots. That's something they're going to need to figure out. But I tried to figure out a solution at the beginning of the year. I wanted to run and gun, but it doesn't look like these guys are going to be running any kind of fast break here. And they're definitely going to be running those fast breaks with LeBron coming back. That's just going to take the tread's already kind of wearing out on that. I don't think they can do it anymore.
You boys are having an interesting conversation on Laravia. Like, when do you think he started playing poorly? Like, because honestly, like I feel like he played well for parts of the season. Like the last couple of games have been a bit touch and go, but you don't seem to be as positive on him, John, as probably me. Um, like, have you thought he's been poor all season? Like, I mean, he certainly had a couple of good games. You know, he scored 37 one game, but I think he's all right, and he gets along well with AR and Luka and that, which I think's a positive. So he's not perfect, John, but are you a bit worried overall with the signs?
Yeah, I am. I am, brother. I really am. Because started the season, I was really worried because the confidence wasn't there, right? And then
Yeah.
he had those two big games where he was Euro stepping through the lane. He was dribbling with confidence. I was like, wow, like here we go, Jake. This is a whole new level. And I didn't expect him to continue to stay at that 27 points per game or 25 points per game. But
Yeah.
I did expect him to at least stay a little bit consistent. And if we want to read off his last games in this Milwaukee game, he had 4 points and went 0-4 from the 3-point line. In the New Orleans game, 6 points and didn't even attempt a three. The OKC game, 5 points and went 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. The Charlotte game before that, 6 points and went 0-3 from the 3-point line. The Atlanta game we lost, but 13 points. My thing is like, okay, well, if we're bringing you in to be a shooter, you're not even getting up more than 3 threes in certain games, and in the New Orleans games, you didn't get up a single one. If we're coming in for you to be a scoring threat off the bench, you're not scoring, you're not playing with confidence. I don't know, man. I really do hope that he does.
It's weird, yeah. But then we're winning too, you know, some of these games. So it's
that
like,
is true.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, there's a concern there because he's going to be important, you know, particularly in playoffs and stuff. And if he's showing bad signs for you, then yeah, it's not good. But I don't know. I feel like a player like that. I mean, he's sort of coming in and out of the, you know, the rotation. Smart plays more than him. They use connect sometimes. Like, he's just got to be ready when the time comes. And yeah, the last couple games he hasn't, John. But he's proven he can be. So we'll see. I'm just, you know, I'm happy with the way they're playing, with the way JJ is coaching. Sort of like possibly getting glossed over a bit, but JJ is coaching the team so well, man. To be able to integrate Bronny into a starting lineup and just integrate Bronny into any team at this stage. Yeah, you can just tell by the team, man, like the way they're expressing themselves on the court. Like Luka gets, you know, goes on the floor. All 5 of them just rush to pick him up. There's a real team bond there right now, man. If they can carry that through, you know, that can take you far. So JJ's coaching really well. The boys are playing well. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see LeBron back. You know, we're not LeBron's biggest fans in terms of like, we don't think he's the GOAT, but he's a legend, man. And, you know, adding a legend back into your team, I can't wait, John. I can't wait to see. But, you know, these people that are hot taking saying we're going to be worse, that's clearly not the case. But LeBron's got to find his place in the team. You know, they are playing really well without him. So it's up to him to integrate himself back. And I'm sure he will, man. I know you can't wait, John.
Can't wait. I can't wait. But
oh, yeah.
But I really do. And Joe's mentioned it earlier. I really do want to see him like play no more than like 30 minutes a night here in the regular season, because we don't
Save
need
himself.
him for the regular season. We really don't. Like, I really believe that with this team of Austin and AR, we're good enough to be able to get through the regular season and then allow LeBron to start ramping up, you know, latter half of the end of the season, and then come playoffs, he's fully ramped up and ready to go.
And yeah, he hasn't had a chance to do that really for us. He's had to carry the team, you know, obviously throughout the regular season. And then often we get to the playoffs and he's a little bit burnt out. So, man, if we can save him, John, like, and he can be like this cherry on top, be wicked,
Come
man.
on. That's
MVP finals for, you know,
come
LeBron.
on, yeah. Come on.
Are we saying this to Joe? Like, you know, if he gets another chip, then another chip.
Come on,
then we start saying then things start looking different, John. Yeah, 3 for us.
Yeah. And then if he
Jordan who?
if he gets, you know, two more chips, I know right now I'm the odd bunch in the LFB. I'm the only one that got LeBron. But hey, I'm gonna start looking like
a lot of hand if that happens, man.
Come to my island.
Yeah,
I'm by myself right now.
I'm on the way, man. I'm on the way to Costa Island.
That is hilarious,
you, bro. But yeah, can't wait. It's interesting, and they're saying he's with the G League, so let's see, man. It's going to happen in the next week or so. He'll be back. Maybe after this, this little easy. I was talking to Joe about it today as well. We've got this week now, John. We can set up the season, man. Utah twice, Pelicans, Clippers. All these games, we can win 4 or 5 straight games here and really set up the season to make a top 4 spot.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. And Rodell, I would say we're not asking Jake LaRavia to be a 25 plus per game scorer, which is what I've said now twice, but we are asking him to be a consistent shooter. And you want to talk about the blowouts, but even in the wins, he has not been shooting well, nor has he been providing that scoring umph that we need. And again, the confidence. And in a way, y'all got to follow me with this. In a way, I kind of related to Ben Simmons, because remember when Ben Simmons was on the court, players would literally turn their back on him if he was outside the 3-point line. If he was anywhere outside the restricted area, players didn't even care about him, right? So they were just sending more help to other players because they knew he didn't have confidence in his own shot. So they knew he wasn't even going to try to shoot that. And right now, that's the way Jake's looking. He doesn't have confidence in his own game and his own shot. Not saying he can't turn this around. I don't know. Rodell thinks I have like a personal vendetta against Jake. I don't. But I'm just from what I've seen, brother. There's not much here for me to, enjoy except the 27-point game that he had back. I think it's been like 10 plus games since that's happened.
Well, the first sentence Rodell said, which is we don't need LaRavia to be a scorer, is not actually true. We actually do need him to be a scorer.
A consistent shooter.
We need him to be at least a 13 to 15 point. This guy's a starter, right? This guy's starting. He has to clear the lane. This is not going to work if he can't hit shots.
He has to. You're right.
LaRavia has to make shots. He can't be afraid to shoot. He can't be Connect Part 2. They signed this guy as a free agent. He's coming into his prime. This guy needs to be reliable as a threat. Doesn't need to be 13, 14, 15 every single night, no matter what, but at least every other night.
A threat, at least.
He's got to be a threat, too. That's the other thing, is he's got to be a threat. He can't play scared either. He can't play scared, which is he's playing scared.
Yeah.
He's playing scared. I don't know why, but he is. So
you guys think I'm being too harsh? That's what
it's always going to be somebody thinking more than what it really is. And
I don't think so, Serge.
And you know what? Screw that. We are going to be hard. We are going to be on him.
Mm-hmm.
You're a seasoned vet. You're not a rookie anymore.
Come on.
So it's time to grow up. You know what? You signed to play in LA, and now it's time for you to prepare for what this team needs. This team needs somebody that can keep the defense honest. If you don't do that, that means Luka has to deal with 2 guys every damn time. He's got to make shots out of his rear end. And then if he's getting cornered, now he's got to throw it to Austin, and then you're going to expect Austin to be this Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type player, and he's not that guy either, especially if he's going to be guarded by guys like Jalen Williams and SGA and athletic freaks like that. It's not going to work. LaRavia's, the connects need to be valuable when they're on there, not only for their youth and their athleticism, but they need to make shots, and they need to make them regularly. They do need to be scoring. Otherwise, this thing is going to collapse. Literally collapse when the defense is coming on them. So I don't know what the deal is with this gambling stuff. I wish people would understand how the media works. The media, anytime you have any big name in anything, 99% of the time are going to exaggerate stuff. So Chauncey Billups, when he first, I guess, went to court, was wearing a Clutch shirt. And then as you start hearing the dumbest shit out there about it, I'm like, and at first, what I usually do is I wait. I just listen first before I react to anything. Typically, in my life, like, because I'm not doing a show, right? Like I usually just wait to see what people say, because 99% of the time people have absolutely dick in terms of what they know. They know nothing. They talk like they know, and they see Chauncey Billups with a Clutch sweater. And then all the rumors start coming out. Oh, it's a message. It's a message to LeBron. I'm like, it's a message to LeBron? You do know that Chauncey Billups is a Clutch client, right? Don't you have gear from your work or the teams that you support? He's wearing his agency's shirt. Now, all of a sudden, Chauncey Billups is this covert ops, black ops thinking guy. Oh, he's wearing that sweater to send a message. To who? Oh, and they've already set up, just like we talked about earlier, John, how people are manifesting that LeBron's going to ruin this thing, right? So now they're manifesting that, oh, watch. They're going to sweep this under the rug. LeBron had something to do with gangsters playing poker. Right? Right? LeBron still doesn't pay the monthly fee for Spotify. Okay? But he's going to go gamble with a bunch of gangsters.
He left Miami over a fucking cookie, but he's going to go gamble.
So, again, yeah, that's the other thing, too. This guy left Miami because Pat Riley didn't want cookies on a plane. And, hey, I love Pat Riley. Absolutely love Pat Riley. Always will. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Seriously, Pat, you're not allowing cookies on a plane? Like, dude, these are grown men. This isn't preschool. Come on. Come on, dude. If that's true. For all we know, it's exaggerated. But anyways, the point is, because I've been hearing this for the last couple of years with Ohtani, right? Ohtani was gambling apparently. Apparently, out of nowhere, Ohtani, after 30 years of life, he's a compulsive gambler. Like, and they were comparing it to Jordan. I'm like, guys, you stupid fucking idiots. There's footage from here to the end of the planet with Jordan playing cards, going to Vegas, going to Atlantic City. Like, there's footage, literal footage, even in a time where there wasn't phones with cameras. Like, Jordan was a gambler. He gambled on a fucking luggage carousel.
Yeah.
Right?
Love competition.
Like, there's footage like from here for forever. But apparently, Ohtani's a compulsive gambler, and his interpreter was thrown under the bus to get him off. And the FBI apparently cares so much about Ohtani. They probably 99% of the people don't probably even know who the fuck Shohei Ohtani was. You know how I know this, John and Mark? Because when they were doing their DEI things, you know, taking shit down, like the guys that had like an ethnic or racial or whatever, like impact at Washington and books and stuff, they took out Jackie Robinson's shit. Somebody was taking that shit out. Oh, this is a DEI thing. They didn't even know who the fuck Jackie Robinson was. And you want them to know some Japanese guy that plays baseball? So, I'm trying to teach the crowd something here. I'm being a little dramatic here because I want it to stick. And it's for entertainment purposes only, obviously. Guys, you guys got to stop eating the TMZ shit. Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones did things with guys that don't belong in and around the league. It's gone on for years. Matter of fact, if you watch The Sopranos, Lawrence Taylor's in one of the episodes playing poker with all the gangsters. Frank Sinatra Jr. was in one of those, and a bunch of famous guys. Like, this is not out of the realm. Now, what I will say is those guys should not be doing that because that's what gangsters want. They wanted Chauncey Billups to take credit and lose, so then they can go over there and go, okay, so you owe us $1 million, Chauncey.
Yeah.
How about you don't put in Jeremy Grant or put in Jeremy Grant in the fourth quarter so that we can, do some things. So, yeah. And in that case, that is a problem. But then he's wearing a Clutch sweater. That must mean LeBron was right there in his ass, puppeting him to go and gamble with a bunch of gangsters. Like, guys, have some common sense, okay? Seriously, have some common sense. Are you guys hanging out with all your coworkers in your business?
Fuck no.
No. And this is, and I use this example, and I could not figure out why Penn State didn't do this. And this is why leadership is so important. articulation, communication is so important. The whole Sandusky thing, for those of you who don't know, the Jerry Sandusky child abuse thing going on at Penn State, right? They covered up things, or they didn't do enough, and all they had to do, all Joe Paterno or whoever was there had to do, but because they're so stupid and narrow-minded and just dumb, like, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was going on. I'm not at Jerry Sandusky's house watching him every 5 minutes. This was huge, like, surprise to us. The neighbor and all those unsolved mystery shows, right? Oh, he was a nice guy, but now he has 15 bodies under the freaking tulips. Like, dude, shit happens sometimes like that. Like, some people hide it that way. So come out and have some balls, like, to tell the truth instead of worrying about what a bunch of fucking idiots out there think. Oh, it's gonna be a PR nightmare. No, it doesn't have to be a PR nightmare. Go out there and say, I didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't know. He's fired, and we're gonna help the kids. Like, dude, people would understand that. Like, people are not that dumb. Like, if I come out and I'm like, I didn't know. What do you want me to do? Here's my phone. Go look. But no. The public is all you care about. The public's like, he threw his interpreter in jail. And the FBI is like, hey, guys, we don't know who this Japanese guy is, but we're not going to get him in trouble because apparently Major League Baseball needs him. These guys are trying to take down the president of the United States. You think they're not going to take down Shohei Ohtani? Like, come on. Wake up, people. Wake up. Stop with the TMZ bullshit, okay? Seriously. LeBron, everybody's trying to get him on PEDs. They've been trying to get at him for 20 years. Guys, if you want to get him on PEDs, and again, I don't know who LeBron is outside what I see. I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't taken anything because I don't know. But the burden of proof is on you. If you say something like he's using PEDs, okay, where's your proof?
Yeah.
Where's your proof?
They've been trying to
It's not as simple. It's not as simple as, let's say, the Barry Bonds situation, right? Using that as an example. Guys in their 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th season don't hit better before then or after their 14th season, let's say. Like, that's common sense. Now you're like, is LeBron now in his 30th season? Is he averaging 35, 10, and 10? Now you start to kind of wonder, is LeBron's on something. There's no way a guy in his 40s is dropping 30, 10, and 10, right? Like, then at that point, you have every reason to be suspicious. But you all got to start, like, really there's a reason why you have this in here.
Use it.
Like, please. Use it. Like, stop being manipulated. Stop being manipulated. And what's going to happen with this stuff, we saw what happened with, what's his name? The ex-Laker that played for Detroit. What was his name? God dang it.
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley. All that shit that was going on with Malik Beasley. Everybody's shooting out footage of that one game where he missed a shot, and now all of a sudden, that's the game he was cooking, right? All of a sudden, 3 weeks later, he's innocent of all charges. What? You guys live in fantasy world. This is the problem with social media. This is the main problem. Some dick face goes on there, yaps, and then you believe it. Believe me. Believe me. I may be a dick, but I'm not going to lie to you.
Truthful dick.
Okay? So, believe me when I say this. Stop believing shit. Ask for evidence, proof. Stop living in fantasy land. Let it play out a little bit, maybe. And that's important.
That's important. It's very important. Guys,
Gerald wanted me to talk about this. I actually wasn't going to talk about the gambling thing, but again, it's his show, so I gotta roll with it.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing. Gerald texted me and told me to tell you to do it. But
yeah, but it's like, hey guys, talk about the 10 people that are being indicted. I don't even know who the 10 people are other than Chauncey and Jim and Jones.
Dude, that's a terrible.
They asked LeBron for a phone number What does that mean? Well, couldn't it mean that it's his agency and it's his client?
They've been trying to get Bron. They've been saying Bron cheating on his wife too for years. They've been trying to get him.
Yeah, man, true.
They're like, oh, I know he's
He was
cheating.
at all the Diddy parties, remember, bro?
Yeah, they're like,
Apparently.
I just know
Yeah.
he's cheating. But no, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's it. That's bullshit.
Guys, I am gonna hop to do my 3-minute game recap though. So Joe, it was great being on here with you, Mark.
Great to see you, John.
As well, brother. I will see you guys here at the next game. But if you guys do want to check out my channel, it's exactly what Search just dropped right there in the chat. And then Lakers corner on Lakers_corner on Instagram. But besides that, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys here next game.
Good job, Johnny.
100%.
Talk
Take
to you
care,
later.
John.
See you guys.
See you soon.
So it's
just on the gambling thing, just real quick, like, all that LeBron stuff aside, one thing that they do need to look at is these player props, man. You can't tell me like the 8th or 9th player on the bench, should have a player prop. Like, you're just really opening yourself up to that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think they can help themselves a bit. Like, gambling's not going anywhere. That's a sick hat. You like my jersey? But yeah, like just had to show that off too. But yeah, I think they've got to change just a couple of things with gambling, Joe. Like the player props, maybe get rid of them all, or have limited amount that you can bet on player props. Maybe it's $20. Like they've got to do something to help themselves. But I'm from Australia. We've had gambling way longer than you guys. Like we've had internet gambling since probably 2010. And it's everywhere in our sport. And yeah, you don't want that. Like it does ruin it a bit. And when you see kids growing up that are like 16, 17, already on betting apps and stuff like that, it's a bit of a concern, man. So the LeBron stuff aside, that's all bullshit. That's all hysteria. Media will talk it up and then Twitter will take it wherever it wants to go. But underneath that, gambling is a problem that, they can help themselves with. At the end of the day, we're all adults and you make your own choices, but I just think there's a few things that they can do to tweak it. But yeah,
my thing has always been the hypocrisy part of anything that these leagues do. There was a time where, and I don't know if it's changed actually, it might have changed, but they wouldn't allow players to endorse alcohol, yet every other commercial with like the NFL was alcohol. So
yeah,
to me,
you're right. Yeah,
yeah.
And before that, cigarettes, Joe, in the 90s.
Yeah, and my thing is, if you're gonna be about it all the way. Stop two-facing it. That goes for anything. But I mean, look at the NCAA here in the United States. These guys ran the scam for so long, and then finally it took the Supreme Court to finally say, no, you guys are done, and it finally crippled them. And
this is paying the players and stuff.
My thing is with the NFL is there was always a few things here and there that irked me. First of all, I'm Roger Goodell was always someone I couldn't. That it was the classic two-faced fuck. Like I couldn't stand looking at him. He was a two-faced piece of shit. Kind of similar to the governor of California. Just two-faced, and then you'd catch him in lies. You'd see one video of this, one video, like a classic, just piece of shit, two-faced hypocrite.
Who does that remind you of?
Well, again, there's I know Donald Trump gets that tag too, but Donald tends to be a little bit more upfront too, versus the company line all the time. Like I think tactically he'll two-face things versus just being a two-face. Now that might be making an excuse for him, but my thing is you also have to be realistic. You're not going to like everything about somebody. And there's things that some guys do that there's nothing good that they do, hardly ever. Roger Goodell is just one of those guys that I just did not. I was seeing him change football, and of course, the only thing that mattered was money, and everybody was making the money. I didn't care, and the players' associations were always such cowards that they just submitted to whatever the owners wanted because they wanted to get that weekly check. But anyways, the key here is we want to focus on basketball at the moment. I know Gerald wanted to talk about stuff outside it because it brings the juices
focus
up.
on the game, Joe.
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
I want to ask you, Joe. You go on, but I do want to get your read on Deandre Ayton, man. He's been great the last week or so. I'd like to talk about him at one stage. Okay.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. I think DeAndre Ayton is, in a lot of ways, already kind of fulfilled what they need. You have to put it in context. Same thing with Marcus Smart. There was a question somebody asked which one was the better acquisition. I went with Marcus Smart just for a hair, because he plays in a way where he gives you, again, the identity, right? Yeah. But in reality, it's actually tied, and maybe a little bit more for DeAndre Ayton, because this team did need a center, and he is a legit center.
Yeah, he is, man.
Legit, and you got him for nothing.
I know.
So whatever he does, good or bad,
so I seen
it's gonna help, right? Now you just need to have. I think if LeBron can come in and acclimate with what they're doing already, and they go 10-4, 10-4, 10-4 normally, right? Like consistently like that. I'm going to start getting the itch in February to where I'm like, Rob, you need to pull another rabbit out of that hat and get him one more guy. I don't know who, I don't know how, I don't know what. I'm in no way understanding what exactly they need, because the NBA is very difficult to know, hey, because it's not like baseball. It's not like, let's say, Skubal, right? Like the pitcher for the Tigers. He just won his second Cy Young in a row, right? Like, that guy, dude, okay, forget about him. Blake Snell.
Man.
Okay, this guy might be a few seasons away from being possibly a Hall of Fame player, right?
Man.
He's won 2 Cy Youngs. Okay, this guy's won 2, not 1, 2.
2
Cy Youngs. He's played in
What
Tampa. He's played it in San Diego. He's played in San Francisco. This is his 4th team. How is a guy that good? Playing for 4 teams. So in baseball, it's different. Basketball, you don't have that team that typically that goes, into February, we're not winning shit. We're going to trade Trey Murphy the third because we're not winning. Anyways, it happens.
Yeah.
It's not like, this is going to happen. This stuff happens regularly. A lot of last few years, I mean, it's been barely anybody of substance being traded.
In February, right?
So that's where I'm at right now. I'm in that mode of I feel I'm giving kind of LeBron the benefit of the doubt because he is a team player type mentality guy. So I think he's going to come in. I think they'll be fine. But they're probably going to need one more guy, especially if guys like LaRavia and Connect do not come through. If LaRavia turns into a guy where he can be that Bruce Brown type, like X factor for the team, then cool. But I don't know if that's going to happen. And Marcus Smart might be a little too long in the tooth. DeAndre Ayton is a center. Centers nowadays are more like a luxury than a necessity, even though they really needed him too because they don't have anybody. But I'm talking about when playoff time comes, the center position normally isn't what it used to be. You can't just throw the ball down low and let them go to work. They got to play a part in the grand scheme of things. And more often than not, you need that X factor to be the guy that can hit the shots off the bench, playing with the starters, whatever. That's where they're at.
I just sort of see him like someone that, can match up, and no one really can match up against, like a Joker. Also, the boys there in OKC, Chet and Hardenstein. Like, he's a big body. He's definitely someone that we need to potentially get us over the line. So, like you said, Joe, to pick him up for free and the way he's played, it's been great. I feel like Smart was probably feeling himself a little bit last game. They might have just said to him, hey, you need a bit of a rest here, Smart, tonight. So hopefully he just checks himself a bit. And Rui getting a rest was odd. Rui's played most of the games this year, but again, maybe they've just seen it as an opportunity to rest him, or if he's slightly injured. But Rui's been fantastic, Joe. He's really, become automatic. That's where I probably don't feel the same as yourself and John on Laravia. I see something there. I'd hate to sort of. I don't see him, just going by the wayside and not playing for us in the end. I've seen enough to say that he is going to get minutes at the end of the season. Let's just wait and see. But I wouldn't be looking to trade Laravia. I'm pretty happy with the squad, Joe. Like, yeah, I agree. In Feb, if we're positioned really well and there's an opportunity to pick up someone to add to this mix, you might. But presently constructed, with LeBron coming back, with the way Luka's playing, man, there's enough here, Joe. Like, yeah, if we're gonna always compare ourselves to OKC, well, no one's gonna compare well to them. But with the way Luka's playing, like, what about Luka tonight, Joe? Just a couple moments where he puts on that smiling assassin, just walks in, couple of threes, a 2, 8 points in a matter of seconds, ices it. We've got someone really, really special there. So let's just see. I still think we've got enough. But, okay, we go and play OKC and we get smashed. So you only remember that performance. But we'll see, man. I'm super happy. And, I keep going on about it because I feel like a lot of people don't. But JJ's upped his coaching game big time, man. Something, it's clicked there. And I'm glad to see it. It can turn quickly. But from where we were a couple of weeks ago, sort of thinking, the Walters are going to come in and just turf this guy, they'd be having a few question marks right now on that. Like, it's too early and it's a small sample size, but he is coaching really well. So,
Well,
give him where credit's due.
the extension. So just to give you a brief,
Point.
Just to give you kind of a little bit of a history of Mark Walter and the Guggenheims in terms of what they've done to my baseball team.
Yeah.
By the way, back-to-back world champions. Just so in case you
Mine now
forgot.
too.
Still on that cloud. I still haven't come off that blue cloud yet. Giving props to my boy Drip Show. I know people look at this immediately, think Dodgers, which is the perfect design.
I know, man.
And I got the $10 billion Guggenheim price tag on the Lakers. Look, this is a beautiful ensemble here.
It is. Complemented with,
yeah, of course. And again, I grew up in a soccer family. I didn't become a soccer player because I'm 6'3", 280 pounds. my father tried. He used to kick a soccer ball to me. This is something he said, God rest his soul. He used to kick a soccer. My dad was a really good soccer player.
Yeah.
My dad was the header guy. My dad was corner kick header guy. That was his game, right?
Dude.
And
heading's a special art, yeah.
Yeah, and my dad he told me he used to kick me the ball and I'd kick it back to him and I'd go, it's the shape of a football. so that stuff was in my blood, right? And again, looking at the Mark Walter transition, he is a really good man. Like the Dodgers are looked on. The public fan base of the opposite of the Dodgers, the fan bases of the Giants and the loser teams, right? Like the fan bases are it's not just fan bases, it's losers who talk about winners. And they have to find an excuse on why the Dodgers are winning, because before the Dodgers were winning, they were chokers, right? And mind you, the Dodgers were screwed twice, and those two teams in 17 and 18 were most of them were homegrown, and the 17 team was phenomenal. That team was a juggernaut, and they would have won that series had they not been cheated. So 18, there was some cheating going on, but there's a lot of discussions about they didn't do it in the playoffs, which is complete bullshit. But I always say, as trying to keep it fair, because we did get Mookie Betts, who was on that team.
Boston.
I said, well, in a weird way, Boston sort of made up for it by giving us Mookie Betts for 4 sticks of gum and some used, toilet paper. Like, they got him for nothing. So, and that benefited in 3 championships. So we sometimes kind of don't give the 18 Red Sox as much heat, even though they deserve it, as we do the 17, right? But anyways, the point is, Mark Walter, when he took over the Dodgers, and they bought the team officially in 2012, and then 13 was the first year that they were in operation. And by the way, the Dodgers haven't missed the playoffs since then. So he didn't just fire Nick Coletti. He didn't just fire Don Mattingly. Like he let things kind of develop a little bit. And Nick Coletti was not a bad GM. He was a good GM. He's a guy that drafted Kershaw. He got Will Smith. He got Corey Seager. Like this guy was Nick Coletti was really good at his job.
Yeah.
But he's not
the best
Mr. Friedman, right?
Yeah.
So don't think, they extended JJ and he's sitting there with Jeannie all happy and there's gonna be a time here in the next year or two when the Lakers free up some cap space where they're gonna say, okay, how are we gonna do this? And they're gonna make the right call, by the way. I have no doubt. So that is what's coming. That is what's coming. But as far as this season, the Lakers are going to probably need a favor. They're probably going to need a favor, and I'm hoping Rob, because Rob doesn't do the little things well, right? He does the big deals well. So fine. You want to hit home runs, Rob? You're not going to be the guy that plays singles, and he's going to slug. And that helps in baseball now, by the way. And you saw it in the World Series, especially in Game 7. Slug won. Slug wins. Why? Where people who are pulling their hair and wanting to, jump through a window when Ohtani strikes out 180 times a year. Guys, the reason why he does that is because he's slugging every time he's at the plate. Okay? What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it means MVPs for Mr. Shohei Ohtani, and it's meant titles the first 2 years as a Dodger. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? You know better? You know better? What more? I guess he could have won MVP in the World Series, right? Oh, why not win a batting title too? No. Instead, he's like, look, I'm going to stack MVPs, obviously, until I'm done, until I finally start to come down. It's going to be a few years. I want to win some World Series, though, and they have 2 for 2. And I don't see them losing a lot of these in the next 8 years. I feel fully confident that if he's healthy the entire 8 years, that this team is going to likely win 5, possibly 6 titles in those 10 years he's a Dodger. And that right there is
that'd be crazy.
Is going to it's already stamped, but it's going to be kind of like the 56-game hitting streak for Joe DiMaggio. Like there's no one that's going to get close to it. Like there will never be a better baseball player than Shohei Ohtani when his career is over, because he'll likely have 7, 8 MVPs. It's going to probably happen. So, anyways, going back to the Lakers, we're going, but it's a correlation to how things are going to get run here. Yeah, Rob, in my view, if LaRavia and Connect and the supporting, like if Marcus Smart can't stay healthy, whatever, and Rui levels out, like they're gonna need another guy if they want to win a championship. They're gonna need another guy. Gonna need another guy that doesn't play like Reaves, doesn't play like Luka, and play like LeBron, because those three kind of play the same style of game. The game is control the ball, get to the basket, hit an occasional 3, and just repeat and rinse. But what are you going to get? What are you going to get for that one guy? What I want is I want that guy, whoever it is, someone that can play just some basic defense and is a threat every game from the outside. The Lakers have not had that guy in a long time. They rarely ever did. But they need a sniper who can play a little bit of defense. A vet, a guy that's hungry to win, a guy that understands the team concept. Who is it? I don't know. I don't know who that guy is going to be, because there's levels to it. But who is going to trade that guy? More often than not, they don't trade that guy. But we're going to see what New Orleans does. We're going to see what Charlotte does. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but we'll probably find out more and more as the months go on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But certainly right now, Reaves got a chance to be that guy. So we'll see what happens.
So
Mid
Joker says CR7 for life. So Joker, if you want to die, you tell a Messi fan.
Joker to our to our WhatsApp chat. We might be talking about that after the show.
You just got on our chat. Now I think Mark's going to be like,
man. That's all right. Look, there's fans for CR7, but it's the Jordan LeBron type debate. It's comical. And Messi's won a World Cup and blah 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 blah. I don't need to go on about it.
I think there's a better argument because soccer is a different sport in a lot of ways, even though it's still a sport. I've had better arguments because it's too intense.
Yeah.
The Ronaldo Messi thing is ridiculous. It's the worst argument. Mind you, I'm the guy that likes the heat, right? I have had the look on people's faces. It's just the look, like,
right.
As soon as I say Ronaldo in front of a Messi fan, as soon as I say Messi they go into hysterics, like out of the gate. I'm like, whoa, relax.
Yeah,
all right, stop. Okay, let's stop the Ronaldo Messi thing. How about this? How about Maradona or Messi? Then they calm down. Oh, yeah. Maradona, da 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 da. But then Messi, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, fine. This argument's a little easier to talk. Yeah. Like, they get belligerent, like it's crazy. I'm like, okay, good, because Maradona did this, and then Messi did that, and then Messi and this. It's because it's like they're comparing two sons.
Yeah,
right. They're comparing two sons. For my dad, God rest his soul, when he would talk about Maradona, when he would talk about. And even if it was simple like Zidane or George Best, like those guys, like I didn't know enough about those guys growing up because I wasn't following soccer, but the discussion would start, and I did engineer a soccer show for a couple of years, so I did get familiar with it a little bit, but I still don't know enough. Like I don't follow it enough to really call myself an expert. But there was things that the mentors in that business would tell me. They're like, look, guys that play soccer in a lot of ways. Good one there. Then thanks for popping it up.
Good shit everywhere.
They would say, well, what makes a great soccer player in a lot of ways is the same thing. What makes like Kobe and Michael and all those guys is how to get the ball, how to control the ball, and what to do next. When it came to those three phases, because everybody thinks, oh, Kobe got 60 points because he shot 40 times.
Yeah.
And my immediate response to that, especially if it's face-to-face with somebody, face-to-face is the best place to make an argument. Online, it's a waste of time. Yeah. But I go, okay, let me ask you this. Oh, so you make it sound like it's easy to get shots off in the NBA. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get 40 shots? You know how hard it is to get a shot off in the NBA?
Yeah,
because you see these guys do this. Oh, you think it's easy. Go do it. I just told you, John, I don't know if you were on here when I said it before.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a shot off on a guy that was 6'8". I couldn't get one shot off.
Nah.
With all my might. He kept blocking everything down in the block. Everything. I couldn't get one. I had to go out to the three-point line to finally get one out. So it's easy. Oh, he shot 40 times. That's why he scored 60. I'm like, you ever shot a shot in the NBA, asshole?
That's so true, man.
So going back to soccer. Getting the ball, controlling the ball, and knowing what to do next.
Yeah.
This is not me. This is coming from soccer coaches, guys that coached their country. Irishmen, man. You want to see crazy soccer fans? Go to Ireland. Talk to Irishmen. Talk to the Scots, maybe even. I don't know. But Irishmen are nuts. Like you would have laughed if you were there. I remember this one time. They knew I was a American football guy. I'm like, American football guys, yes. Like, anyways, like it wasn't even like they didn't even acknowledge American football. They're like, look, we're here talking about a real sport. We're talking about the world sport here. Soccer.
Yeah.
Joe, go ahead and engineer over there. Like they didn't give a shit. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like. Not totally shit on, but it was funny. It was funny. If you were there, we would have laughed. I always give props to anybody who shits on me, not literally, obviously, but in terms of comments.
That'd
I
be
know
awesome.
I know some of you sick bastards like that shit out there.
Yeah. Vari loves it.
The Arab Spring
Not
has nothing
here
on
has
the
just
Irish
been.
Spring. Don't say we're Arab to SB.
really.
SB doesn't like that word. See, I knew it. See, I set it up. See, Freudian slip. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Anything can be misconstrued to something sick, right? But it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Hey, but we got to say, like, there's always been a bit of a connection between Barca and the Lakers since Kobe was around. So I feel really special about that. And there's a bit of a crossover with the sports. It's, a completely different sport in terms of the amount of people, but team sport's a team sport. So, yeah, but
there's
soccer's a great
there's
sport.
been a comparison of Messi and Kobe in terms of their demeanor.
Yeah.
Their effectiveness, if you will, and then there's always also been comparison from Ronaldo as LeBron because Ronaldo's 6'1", right? He's this genetic freak,
ethic.
right?
Yeah.
You don't unless you're typically a goalie, you don't see 6'1" guys that are as athletic and as fluid as he is, right? But again, it's good discussion. It's good discussion.
And you guys got the World Cup next year, Joe. So don't take that for granted, everyone that's in America. If you do get a chance to go to a World Cup game, man, take the opportunity.
Oh no, there's plenty of America. There's the MLS wouldn't be functional.
No. Oh, Americans love soccer. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of South American influences.
It's just guys like me. The maybe not the. I did grow up in a dairy town, so the cornbread. There are more cornbread fed Americans that run things.
Yeah.
And then you have the Northeast people, the New Yorkers, those types, the East Coast, Philly, New York guys that also take on that we're Americans and we like football and baseball and
soccer. Got your own sports. We've got it here too, Joe. Soccer's popular here, but it's always going to be your fourth or fifth sport because you've got your home.
The stage was set already. Like football, baseball was the first. Yeah, baseball was the first.
Yeah,
baseball was was the heart and soul of the country, right?
Man, cricket in Australia is baseball,
right? And then football in the 50s, and maybe it was even before, especially with the introduction of TV.
Yeah,
it really football took over America in the 60s. Actually, if you want to be technical, right? So then baseball was still popular, and then basketball in the 80s was when that one flourished because you had the combination of Magic and Bird on two separate coasts. They played the whole ethnicity race thing too, Boston versus LA, black guy versus white guy. Like they used that, and it created this amazing kind of duality where by 1984 the NBA finally was able to show live games versus tape delayed games in the finals. And then Jeffrey Jordan came in that same year, and the Dream Team in '92 pretty much solidified basketball in the world, in America, as one of the top sports. Baseball got a little bit kind of scaled back due to the strike in '94, but then the home run steroid era brought it back up. Because no matter what sport, no matter what game, the most coveted singular individual stat, in my view, in the entire planet, is the home run record.
Yeah, man.
That is the number one record. That is the most ego masculine stat. That always speaks as you're the man if you hit home runs.
Imagine
right?
having the home run record.
Chicks dig the long ball, right? That's what it is. They don't give a shit about a four-seam strike three. Yeah, they don't care about that one. But yeah. See, you can always.
One thing that baseball has done is in the last few years, it's changed with the times, and it didn't for a while. And cricket had the same issue where the games were too long. And our generation, we can watch things of a certain length, but the younger guys can't, Joe. And I've really appreciated what they've done for in baseball, that pitching clock, and it's pretty good to watch now, man. And I couldn't have said that a few years ago. Like, as someone that loves sport, I've always kept an eye on every sport. But baseball was one where, far out, you'd have to sit there and go, okay, I'm going to be here 3-4 hours potentially. Where, the speeding up of the game, they've done really well. And look, Otani's like Jordan or like Messi and that. It's you can't ignore it, Joe. They're that good, man. They're that good that you, as an opposition fan, go to watch him. I always remember Messi getting standing. Oh well, Messi didn't. Ronaldinho got 2 standing ovations at the Real Madrid stadium, but Messi used to go to all the grounds in Spain and they'd applaud him. That's the sort of thing you get with Otani, man. Just the best of the best.
Yeah,
So
and by the way, Fameless, that's a good point. You were right about 30 years ago.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
man.
were
I
right.
was thinking that.
The
You
heavyweight
said that.
boxing, the undisputed heavyweight champion was the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah,
No
it was, man.
Now,
Far out.
boxing swallowed itself, and it wasn't all their fault. It was just the greatest line I heard years ago was most of the guys that boxed in the 70s, 80s, 60s that were heavyweights are now playing tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, very, very true. It's just less taxing, even though it's a pretty brutal position. You get destroyed when you catch the ball and run. But you're going to make a hell of a lot more money playing tight end as a good tight end than you are going to be playing, maybe getting your head bashed in for, whatever in boxing. Still a lot of money in that if you can get it right. But you're right. You're right. Heavyweight champion,
He's
undisputed,
totally right.
was the man, for no doubt.
There's also a gap, sort of after Holyfield and that, of a really good heavyweight, man. Like they started promoting, Floyd Mayweather's and the sort of smaller fighters who are great. Floyd, man, I've watched so many of
Well,
Floyd's fights.
the best fights
I know.
are the middleweights because
No, you're right. It's just they haven't had until Tyson Fury came around. There wasn't a real big sort of champion in the heavyweight space, and it's just lost it.
You see better boxing. Yeah, you see better boxing, and the middleweights can take the middleweights can take more punches. Obviously, the punches aren't crazy. I mean, I saw Oliver McCall knock out Lennox Lewis. He got revenge, the next fight, but that happens in Hasim Rahman did the same thing, right? Like,
man,
a heavyweight hitting you, no matter how good you are, is going to knock your ass out, right? Sorry, guys, this is the Lakers fast break. It turned into the experiment. All of a sudden, we start talking about the sports.
Sorry, Gerald.
But we'll put a button. We'll put a button on tonight's game before we head out. But I thought we'd throw in a little bit of other things. But yeah, to finish off tonight's win, for those of you who came in late tonight and didn't watch the game, the Lakers pretty much dominated from tip to the end. Won 119-95. Luka had his usual 38, 9 rebounds, and he was playing pretty good defense too tonight.
He was, man.
Had the best stat for me tonight was 18 of 20. I thought Luka's we've been talking about this, that Luka's free throw issue has become an issue, and he needs to be hitting 80%, at the very least 80%. Tonight he hit 90%, and I hope that's things to come. He doesn't need to hit 90; he needs to hit 80. 75 is unacceptable for a guy that handles the ball that much and is gonna get fouled and can shoot that well from the perimeter. So, a good way to end the 5-game road trip. The Lakers went 3-2 during the road trip. Lost in Atlanta, which is the usual suspects, the usual area where they lose typically. And then, of course, they got worked with Oklahoma City. Not a surprise, but I thought they gave up, and it bothered me. It bothered me that they gave up so early in that game. And I
know, it was frustrating. It was. Oh no! Here we go.
How would I do it to you, Joe?
I can control it too.
Face off.
Well, we're both in control of the board, so we could just do it to each other all.
Yeah,
we got 2 Joe Soros here, people. Freaking out.
So you want to make so what it makes? Well, hold on. Kurt is saying some stuff here. Hold on. It makes sense if you met John Wayne Gacy. Oh, okay. So you remember what I said before?
Oh yeah, nothing gets by Kurt. Nothing gets by Kurt.
So I was talking about, not knowing your neighbor or a surprise, and why these guys, when they find out that some weirdo jacked up their reputation or whatever, and why they can't just come out and say, look, I didn't know. We didn't know. We screwed up. Sorry, let's take care of the problem instead of trying to hide it. But we're coming on the end here, Gerald. If you want to take us to the finish line here.
Well, I just wanted to say real quickly because I've heard the entire thing. I was stuck at Allegiant Stadium, double overtime, UNLV1, go Rebels. And I was listening to John because John said, I think he said, I'm paraphrasing here, he had said something to the fact that he's just about had enough of the Jake LaRavia. And I'm just like,
man, he was savage.
We're 13 games in.
Right. I tried my best.
He's only on I love $6 million, but he's only on a $6 million contract. I mean, what are you expecting from the guy? Give him a chance.
Joe probably had similar thoughts as well. Yeah, I don't see it. I think he's been playing well, Gerald, and he fits in with the boys.
It's up and down. It's up and down. I understand. I get what Joe was saying too, that we need someone with 13 points that gets through a consistent 13 points off the bench because we are so bad. Last year, we were one of the worst benches in the league. And we do need, if we can get 30 to 35 points a game off the bench, that would be ideal. That would be fantastic because that's less pressure off the Lukas, the Austins, and LeBrons during the course of the 82 game season. I mean, I'm still seeing Luka. How many minutes did Luka play today? 40 again?
Yeah, he did.
Or 42? Yeah. That's
41.
not going to sustain itself. And him going to be sharp into the playoffs. That's just not. I don't see that as being feasible. And so we need a good, consistent bench. And LaRavia, again, it's not an expensive deal. So I don't know why John is that against him. As far as okay, he's buds with Austin, great. But he's an up and down player. He's still 23. Give him a chance and opportunity because he's at least more active on the defensive end than Dalton, because Dalton, he still is not that great defensively, but at least he's improving offensively because it was really bad earlier this season, and now it's at least to the point where he can at least get you something. But LaRavia, I just don't know why he is just so off on LaRavia already, and it's just like. He's an up and down player. He's a young player. He's still improving. He's only in his fourth season in the league.
That's the one thing I said to John. We're winning too. It's like, it's all good. Like Jake's going to be important, but it's not every game that he's going to be important. And I don't know. I've seen good signs.
He needs to be a threat.
Yeah. I still think he is.
He needs to be.
I can't ignore him.
Yeah, he needs to be the
Malik Monk. If he was Malik
this is
Monk,
not. I'm not comparing them to these guys, but I'm talking about the role here, not comparing them talent wise. He's nowhere near these guys in talent, and never will be. And I'm not putting that on him. He needs to be a Trevor Ariza or a Ron Artest, third, fourth guy that is a threat with the current construction of the team. Rui can be that guy, but basketball's a different game now. It's not what it was in the late 2000s and the early 2010s. It's just not. They all almost have to take turns depending on matchups and what kind of game they're going to be playing that day. Or what series. Teams can't impose their will in one way anymore. It's just not going to work. You have to adapt to who they play. You're going to play a completely different game against the Denver Nuggets, and you're going to play a completely different game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You can't play your game. You can't just, again, throw the ball down the shack, let them adapt to you. Those days are gone. You have to adapt to the elbow with Jokic. If you don't adapt to it, you don't make him uncomfortable passing wherever the hell he wants or shooting there, you're going to have a problem. Now, shift to Oklahoma City. How are you going to guard SGA? How are you going to guard their outside shooters? How are you going to guard their defense? Because obviously their defense is different than Denver's defense. Is Jamal Murray going to be effective? Is he healthy? That it's just a different. You have to play according to the game that you're playing and the team you're playing now. It's not you just doing everything the way you want. Those days are gone.
Again, it's just
It's a good
so
point.
early in the season. Why
Yeah.
are we discounting anyone at this point in time? True, I would love to see more consistency from him, but again, young player, 4th year in the league. You're just trying to. He's only had one good year, period, in the league, and you just want to see if it grows. And it's on a relatively inexpensive contract. It's 2 years, $12 million. Same thing with DeAndre. Same thing with Marcus Smart. Everybody talks about we miss DFS. Well, if you kept DFS, you probably would not have gotten 2 of the 3 players that we're talking about
Rash.
now, and they're more helpful to the rotation than what DFS could bring as a single individual. So, I mean, you guys want DFS? That's great. But if that, then you probably would have lost 2 of those 3 other guys in his place. So, again, give him I think he needs more of a chance to go ahead and determine whether or not he's going to be a consistent factor for the Lakers going forward.
Hell yeah, man.
Kleber is there for 5 fouls. It's just that simple. And, yeah, we were talking about on playback. It's just he's out there to foul. It's at this point it's a lost cause.
Gerald's feelings about Kleber are the opposite to how you feel about Zubats. Gerald, you're not a fan.
Kleber is just come on. Kleber is already packing his bags for Europe.
I think that the comedy in the fact that the DFS keeps getting mentioned is, has he even played this year?
No, he hasn't played for Houston. No, but it always comes back to it in the chat, Joe. That's really
I had mentioned this, and I mentioned this, and this can go for anything. Again, there's this issue with brain activity. We talked about this with believing everything you read. Oh my God, they're asking LeBron for numbers. That must mean he was the kingpin of a gambling ring with gangsters now, and he's using steroids. I mean, the amount of stupidity that comes out of people's brains. You wonder why things are weird, right? Yeah. And no one says anything. And if someone does say something, then they're assholes or they're jerks or they're whatever, or they want drama. No, I don't want drama. If you're an idiot, you need to be told you're an idiot. And you are an idiot, because if you're saying these things, then I'm going to ask your stupid ass, where did you get this information? Or did you just manifest it in that pea brain head of yours? Because I'm going to ask you for proof. You keep saying it. Okay, where's the proof? Where? This isn't OJ proof either. OJ's shoes was all over that front door and the blood and all the stuff and all that. Like, I get it. Not everything can be proven under reasonable doubt. I get that part. But this is not a murder case. This is bring me the information. This guy's on PEDs. They actually say that. Oh, this guy's on PEDs. And this guy was a part of this, whatever it was. Oh, he was. Oh, okay. Where's the proof? Where? What, you never had somebody scam you? Oh, he should have. You're not going to convince me he didn't know what was in his bank account. You haven't been scammed out of your ATM cards when you go to the gas station? I have, like 3 times. And I'm careful. And I'm watching my account every day. So now what? Like, y'all act. Oh, and by the way, these are famous. I'm talking about famous people. Did you know that Michael Jackson, and this is what I heard, like, even before he passed away, he had 2,000 people suing him at one point. Michael Jackson. 2,000. I've never met 2,000 people in my life, and I bet he probably hadn't either, to be sued by 2,000 people. Some of you need to work on your brains. Stop letting the pollution that's on the internet, and it's not just the internet. This stuff was going on before. It just was on it when it was National Enquirer or one of those current affairs. Sorry, Kurt. Again, that's what it was in the 90s. All those dipshit infomercial jerk-off shows, jerk-off programs that filled you up with all that Jerry Springer white trash garbage so that you can be entertained. And then what happens is it infects you. All that reality TV with all those skanks talking about their lives and all their ex-husbands and all their fucking kids that don't respect them. Like, this all builds up into this dipshittery. Okay? The dipshit mentality of things. Stop doing that. If you want to believe something, you have every right to. But don't act like it's facts. I want to believe that Jessica Alba wants to meet me. You see how stupid that sounds? You see, that's how you sound. Oh, he's on steroids. Oh, he's a part of this. He threw his interpreter under the bus. Oh, you know that. The guy has no history of any of this. Nothing. Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. It's all a cover-up. Everything's a cover-up. If everything's a cover-up, nothing's a cover-up. You ever heard that? If everything is a cover-up, then there's no cover-up. Wake up. That's my button for the night. I'm going to let Gerald finish the show. I enjoyed hosting the show, by the way. I feel like I've been giving sermons all night.
Yeah, I've been hearing hosting, it. Man. Yes, all throughout going back and forth across the strip. There, people were turning their heads. What does that sound? Oh, it's just Joe. It's just Joe. German. But no, Joe. Great
Somebody
job.
has to say something. At least I can say I can sleep at night saying at least I told you.
Yes.
Like, seriously, guys, you got to wake up. You got to get out of this matrix or whatever the hell's out there that you guys want to just believe anything you hear. Like, seriously, this LeBron thing. This is the dumbest thing. Do you even know who LeBron? Like, this guy has shown you his cards for 20 plus years now. Now all of a sudden he's going to be a part of some gambling ring. The same guy that wants to spend no money on anything, but he's going to go gamble with a bunch of fucking gangsters. Okay. There. That makes sense.
To clarify, LeBron is not involved in this as far as...
They put LeBron's name in there, though.
Yes, of course. And he's on every article. Yeah, of course. He's pictured in every article, of course.
Yeah.
But the report is from The Athletic. It is the NBA engaged in an independent law firm to investigate the allegations in the indictment once it was made public. As it's standard in these kind of investigations, a number of different individuals and organizations were asked to preserve documents and records and phone records and stuff like that. Everyone has been cooperative with these. So I'm assuming the other teams, let's say like Portland, for instance, I'm assuming certain employees their records will also be requested by the NBA. But 10 employees from the Lakers have been, I guess, requested as far as their records, their cell phones and stuff like that. So, with the way the NBA investigates things, they should get off scot clean because, the NBA does a horrible job. I mean, look at the Kawhi thing and now the gambling thing. I mean, the NBA gave him both of them a clean bill of health. And look what happened after that. Look at the Class A thing and FBI on the other.
Yeah, look at the Class A thing. They're all not guilty. They're going in with a not guilty plea. I'm thinking to myself, anybody who's gonna risk trial now, they probably know something, but I don't know. I don't know what. Look, this tabloid mentality that has been created since the OJ trial. This thing needs to start getting into the reverse side, man. It's so. We talk about toxic. We talk about people who always have to involve politics in everything. And that's at the fault of all the dipshit actors and athletes that started this shit and the enablers that were the owners and the commissioners. If those guys hadn't done that, we would have never had this problem. But because they let them, due to letting them talk and let them free or whatever. Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to be very clear on this. If you are not an elected official, okay, it doesn't matter who it is, athletes, actors, those pundits that are on YouTube jerking off on everybody about politics. I don't give a fuck what you think. You're not elected. You're not doing the work. You are making a living talking about bullshit, even if it's true. That's it. I don't hold you in any regard, any positive regard. You are flaming the fire, and this is what this is. You're flaming nonsense. You're trying to find something on someone for what? So that you can sit in your house and go, see, I told you he was using TEDs. Okay, well, what's that going to do for your life? What? I just saw the A-Rod documentary. Almost fell asleep. First of all, I'm not a big A-Rod fan. He's boring to me. And even during his time, all that PED stuff, I'm like, okay. Oh, it's A-Rod versus Alex. What a pile of fucking bullshit. A-Rod versus Alex? What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, that was A-Rod who was doing that. Alex was the nice guy that was in the back waiting while A-Rod was like, I seriously, I was falling asleep. I fell asleep. I was like, this is the biggest pile of shit. This is why I don't like A-Rod. Not in that I hate him. I don't hate him. I can watch him on TV. I think he does a good job, actually. It's like he always had that aura of like assness. Like, like no substance. No, like you listen to David Ortiz, he's got that Dominican accent, the way he talks and the way he shits on Derry. Like there's something cool there. A-Rod, yes, the players did really well. And yeah, they did this and they did that. And I'm going to pick the Yankees to win the World Series again for no reason. The fuck? Yankees again? Do you have any idea how ass they were this year and you were picking them again? Everyone and their mother knew Toronto was going to beat them. So anyways, point is, don't be stupid. Know your information. If you want to accuse people of shit, bring something to the table at least. Bring it. Lesson for all of you for your life. I'm doing this for free, guys. People pay idiots to tell them this kind of shit. And maybe they don't even tell them this shit because they want them to keep coming back, right? I don't need to get paid to try to give positiveness on it. Am I not positive, guys?
Oh, you're super positive. Yes.
Positive as they get.
Person I've ever met in my entire life.
It's been a good couple of weeks. I mean, come on, you got to admit, World Series title, Lakers 10-4.
You got to admit you were kind of worried though when Bronny strutted out in the starting lineup.
I wasn't worried. I was irritated that he was starting. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it looks wrong.
JSJ had this game already lost at tip-off.
JSJ. Anytime he says that, Joe and Legend, we win. And shout out to Legend, man. Legend, how are you, bro? Your football team won, man. What
yeah, I'm feeling good,
bro.
Yeah, as long as Georgia doesn't play Alabama, they're good.
Yeah, we played. I don't play down with.
Just saying. You just get
the game?
Oklahoma beating Alabama. I mean, I think Alabama's still probably going to make it, but just Georgia needs to get through. Ohio State's going to be tough too,
though. Did you
though.
get that email, by the way, that I sent you from Legend?
Yeah, I got it. I'm in.
Okay.
Legend, how many people go to a game like the one you went to today?
Now the university I went to, like my college, is a lot smaller than UGA, but we had about 30,000 be at the game.
Wow, man.
Smaller than Georgia crowd.
Small for you, that's crazy. That's still big, man. Unreal.
But both my sides won. I'm satisfied. One going to be bowl eligible. The other one is looking to get in the top 3 in the rankings and get
nice, man.
Try to get away from Ohio State side of that bracket. Get away from them.
Yeah, they look good.
That's probably the best defense I've seen since Miami's 2001 defense.
Miami.
Even if USC gets by Oregon and they win out, they would have to face Ohio State, and they'll just get mauled. They'll just get mauled because they barely beat Iowa today. Yeah, at home. So yeah, I don't have any delusions when it comes to USC beating Ohio State. I don't think, like you said, Ohio State is basically they just have to beat themselves right now.
Well, Ryan Day was at the cusp for a while there, right? And he kept coming up short, especially with the Michigan thing, right? But as soon as he won last year, and I knew as soon as I said, if this guy wins one, he's going to start stockpiling because he just needed to get past it. Ryan Day gets a lot of crap, and I don't think he deserves it. And again, I have family that's Michigan, heavy, so I got to kind of be supportive of that. as much as they can. But Ryan Day knows what he's doing, and this might be his best team. Might be his best team ever, even in the future. Like, this team is a juggernaut, man.
Might be the first back-to-back since Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. They got close to three-peating there, but talk about three-peats. That's college football's hard to three-peat.
So,
yes,
wanted to get Legend's thoughts on the game. Let me go ahead and get it to you, my friend. I mean, the Lakers do finish 3-2 on the trip. Good win, up by as many as 31. I think they were up by 31, 32.
yeah, man.
Yep.
I guess
At
right leading
halftime.
into the half. Yeah, and then despite a third quarter that we kind of like forget about, Lakers kind of put it in gear and just kept their distance from them. Good way to close out. What does it say when you see a game like that on the road against Giannis with two starters out for the Lakers?
Speaks a lot of volume. They came in and handled their business and finished out the road game strong. They came out here and wasted no time with them. Just took care of your business, got through the game, move on to the next one. I was a little bit nervous about that Bronny part. I was like, what we doing? But, they did good. Didn't go wrong. But I was just a little shocked that JJ did that part. I was like, why is he doing the current lineup?
Me too, man. I think JJ was just keeping us on our toes. But yeah, it didn't look right. And it never will look right, Legend, to maybe see Bronny James in the starting lineup. Like, even talking before I think we were on together, maybe before the start of the season, and just, to think that Bronny James was going to play any minutes was like we were going to be crap if that was the case. But, to his credit, JJ's managed to integrate him to some degree. And tonight was maybe more about just starting him for the sake of starting him and then taking him off after a couple minutes and putting the real rotation on. It was very odd, though, but win's a win, man. We keep winning. And I've spoken about it before. And JJ's coaching at a different level, Gerald. And I believe that something's happened, something's clicked. There's a change of approach.
He did make a good decision guarding the way he guarded or had them guard Giannis, especially in that second quarter. I really liked. I was really impressed with that. I'll give you that. I even said that on the air. I think it was to you that I was impressed.
You
with
did.
It. I wish he would utilize his timeouts more to stop momentum.
Yeah,
kind of let things go out a little bit too much. As far as let the momentum on the other snowball a little bit too much.
Sometimes tough to get right, though. Yeah.
But the way he has defended Wemby and how the team defended Giannis today, I was really impressed with. You have to give a credit to the coaching staff on that.
I like the energy too, man. There's just a different vibe to what we saw under a guy like Ham. I just like it personally, but we'll see. It's easy when you're winning. Everything looks good, but I mean, he's coaching well and he's integrated Lucas. So yeah.
He put in
Go ahead, Legend.
He put in the name of that coach of the year, Mark.
Man.
It's only 13 games. I don't want to start getting too far into that yet.
An MVP for Josh
No jokers, though, is right. Lakers are undefeated when Bronny starts. That one's a hard pill to swallow. But thank you for the super chat on that. Joe, what's the deal about UCLA? Since you are in the Southern California area, I guess a judge denied. Danny brought it up in the chat.
I just read that. So
why would they want to leave the Rose Bowl?
Okay, I'll tell you why. When I was at the Rose Bowl for the Michigan,
yes, you were. I remember that
Alabama game. The college feel is very different than the NFL feel. Obviously, there's more intimacy. There's a greater energy. Absolutely, one of the best, environments that I've ever been to in a sporting event. But the Rose Bowl in Pasadena for UCLA is archaic, and there isn't the amenities that SoFi have that could possibly benefit the money part, and that's all it is. And UCLA knows that, and the people in Pasadena know that. But there's a lease there. Then they need to fulfill that, and they were trying to get around it. So, and the irony in this is, again, we're going to go trying to stay away from this as much as I can, but everything is just always seems to veer into the hypocrisy of these places in LA. Like LA is this place that's always preaching and yapping about equality, and we're here for the common man, and we're here for the common bullshit. Well, no, UCLA isn't about the common bullshit. They're about making money too. You're a capitalist.
And the USC fighting about USC. There's two schools fighting about the revenue package for
yes,
the Big Ten.
they're all fighting
billions of dollars.
They're all fighting for the same stuff, but they preach the bullshit lines to keep, just like the baseball owners are going to do here in about a year. Mm-hmm. Those owners that, we want a salary cap. We're just saying that to the fans so that they don't get mad at us because we're not investing. You guys look at the revenue that these teams make. I'm talking about the Pittsburgh and the Miamis and those. Dude, those guys make a lot of money. I'm not talking about, they're making their revenue is like 300 to 400 million a year. Oh, well, we got expenses and we got that. You don't have shit, Miami. You play baseball in a tent right now. So don't give me that bullshit. Okay. Red Sox, what were they at? 480 million? All they know how to do is send everybody to LA. They don't want to pay for shit, right? Then they're fucking Looney Tunes Park where I can close my eyes and hit a home run over the Green Monster, right? So another lesson to everybody. And by the way, Danny, thank you for bringing that up, because this is another thing. Like it's something that's important to talk about. What people say, I am a truth finder. I am a problem solver. In order to solve problems, you have to get to the heart of a problem. And more often than not, the problem is somebody is not doing what they're supposed to do. And more often than not, it's the two-faced pieces of shit who say they can accommodate when they don't. In my business, that's all it is. Oh, we'll do this for you. We will put this retaining wall up. We'll do this. We'll do that. Give me $5,000. I got to go get everything now. I have to teach people how to watch out for those things before I'm trying to sell my business. Oh, I just gave some guy $5,000 and then he left. ICE got him. I remember there was one lady a year ago said, I think ICE got him. Like, how the fuck do you know ICE got him? You know how long this scam has been going on? Anyone who asks you for cash before they step foot on your yard is a fucking scammer. Even if they show up and do the job, they're still scamming. You don't give $5,000 to anyone. Law says in California, there's a down payment up to $1,000. That's it. $5,000 has to be given when you see work going on. I usually set it up as day 1, day 2, so that they can actually see us doing stuff. Then I'm like, okay, here's schedule 1. This is what we're doing. They'll see the guys work, because my guys are badass. Like the second you see them working, everyone knows. It's not hard to figure out. These guys are working. They know how to work. So in this case, UCLA, USC, all those, we're here for the people. We're here to take down the billionaires and the millionaires. Assholes, you want the money the same fucking way, you fucking hypocrites. Because it certainly isn't about the experience that you keep yapping about. There is no better experience in sports for football than being in the Rose Bowl or being at the Coliseum for USC or being in the big house. I haven't been there, but it's similar because I had cousins who were at the big house. Like, it's the same thing. You're literally ass cheek to ass cheek with everybody, and those suckers don't have any missing gaps. It was ass to ass. That's another Freudian slip there for Mr. Current Affair. Okay? Literally, like my left ass cheek, right ass cheek was on somebody else's for an entire 3 hours during the Rose Bowl. That's never happened in an NFL game. That's never happened. Hell, that doesn't even really happen on a plane, even though they're close. This thing was ass to ass the entire way. They don't want that. They want the luxury boxes. They want people to be have a little room so they can sip whatever the hell their $40 wine glass or whatever the hell it is. While they sit there, and have those protests on campus, yapping about rich people. So fuck you, you fucking hypocrites. I'm glad the federal judge stopped it.
I'm just gonna say, if it was just about the love of the game, and Legend could also say this about the SEC as well. If it was about the love of the game, for teams like USC, Oregon, UCLA, they would have kept the Pac-12 together instead of going out. Because now you're talking about USC or UCLA have to play road games, Joe, and fly across the country to Rutgers or to some other Eastern time zone teams just because they're in the same conference. Same thing with Georgia. Georgia has to travel now to different time zones for Southeast Conference games that are not exactly in the Southeast anymore. So it's when they say they're trying to do something for the love of the game or love of the sport for the school, like you say, it's just BS because it's always in the end about the money.
Yep.
So what the hell just happened?
Well, again, what happens is so here's what happens. Okay, so Trojan just mentioned something which cracked me up even more when I heard this. So all this is because of 13 miles in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes forever to get to the Rose Bowl. I'm like, you stupid assholes. It's like 13 miles. 13 miles, it can be 2 hours or it could be 15 minutes. It's LA. 13 miles. If it was 2 hours, if you were in Santa Clara versus San Francisco, like the Niners are, right? Okay, I get that. It's not that. It's bullshit. Okay? They're not getting the extra money. All those protests about the billionaires and millionaires that they have on campus. This is what I want you to sit on, you hypocrite assholes. I hope you stay at the Rose Bowl until you die.
So what's the distance, Legend, between Athens and Atlanta, per se? I mean, I'm not...
I want to say probably like an hour and 30. Like an hour and 30.
And Atlanta's the base, the huge metropolitan base that Georgia Tech draw from. Is that correct?
Pretty much. That's like the biggest place. That's where you usually have the SEC title game, and that's what Georgia and Georgia Tech can play at too, like for Thanksgiving week.
So again, and Georgia makes a good point, though. He said, "True, but how many college students don't even have a car to get that far?"
Who doesn't have a car in LA? This isn't New York. There's 90% of the people outside LA don't even know that LA has a subway. I'm sorry, I'm not. I've been in this area too long not to know what's going on. I had a friend of mine that went to UCLA. Some of my most vivid memories in my life, in my college life especially, were at UCLA. I got shit-faced drunk. The worst I'd ever been drunk in my life. Never have been that drunk since or before then. It wasn't my fault. I drank jungle juice. I didn't know what the fuck jungle juice was. I started drinking. I'm like, this stuff tastes good. What is this? And I just happened to not have eaten anything that day, all day. Got fucked up, passed out twice at the fraternity house there. Woke up with the worst hangover you'll ever have in your life. Never drank like that again. Like, I didn't know, right? So the memory was there. It was funny. Now telling the story, it's funny. At the time, it wasn't. But it's a funny story, right? Had great times at UCLA. Great times. I know a little bit of the culture there because I've had friends of mine that have went there. All this stuff going on at the Rose Bowl, all this stuff going on with their system over there, all is it's the result of the administration and all those guys kowtowing to their stupid ass political bullshit. And now they're getting it in their face. This is what they deserve. Stop catering to morons. If you're not going to be able to survive in a capitalistic world, move to fucking Canada. Okay? Move to Canada. Or move to Venezuela. Do us all a favor. Because when you work like this, this is why it's going on. And we talked a little bit about this before. How is UCLA basketball in the shitter? This is supposed to be the Notre Dame of basketball in college. Still, right? We sort of know why Notre Dame puts education on top. It always has. They still are competitive too, which is amazing, right?
Well, UCLA is competitive this year.
UCLA is competitive, but how is UCLA? This team was this is the New York Yankees of college basketball. They can't even compete in any way. Why? Because no one wants to go there, right?
Yeah.
And because the atmosphere sucks. The traffic sucks. The car situation sucks. The fucking politics. Like, it's a bunch of stuff. I know because that's what I hear. So how are you going to solve the problem? Oh, well, we need to make more money now, right? Oh, now you need to make more money. It's just no one listens, man. No one listens. Everybody thinks that they know. And you let idiots put you in this position. Put your foot down. Tell people need to learn to tell people to shut the fuck up and go away.
You boys have got to bring this back to basketball, man. I'm completely lost with what Joe's just been talking about.
I,
20 minutes,
I don't blame you.
I literally no idea what he's been talking about.
I'm familiar with it because I live in Southern California. I know what's going on. That's why. It was a great
college thing.
It was a great
Xbox. I'll just put it like this: as Legend and as Joe will know, it's college football, which means money. That's all it is.
Man,
it's just about money.
It's
Yeah,
bringing
the
the money.
NCAA, college athletics. It's one of the greediest organizations on the face of God's green earth, and these guys right here will concur with me, and no one will tell me otherwise. It's just absolute greed. I mean, FIFA, FIFA's been talked about the greed there. They ain't got nothing on the NCAA. I'm sorry,
the greed ain't got nothing on them.
The FIFA learns greed from the NCAA, and I'll leave it at that. So. Yeah.
You know, like no other country has that sort of system where they have the college sports being like the second, most professional.
Because it's all about the money. They've been
the
college football gets huge ratings on television, and it's just the following, and I see it, man. Like, and
then you hear committees that are deciding who the top 12 teams are or something. It's just, man, it's a mind blower.
A whole show to tell you the bracket.
That's crazy. Like, how can a person in a suit essentially decide who's making playoffs and
things like that? It comes down to two things. It comes down to obviously the money and the power. And then the power sometimes you have to it's human nature. That's never going to go. Hell, man, there was a time on this planet there was only two people on this planet and they still fucked it up. So how are you going to expect 8 billion people to do it, right? The thing I don't want, the thing I'm rambling about is and ranting about is the two-face part. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, and you're just saying it to appease some other asshole because they're actually living that, oh well, all you guys care about is money and you don't care about education. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll cater to you. We'll put up a foundation for that or some bullshit, that's another scam. All these foundations and all these fucking charities, right? So my thing is, this was hilarious when I first heard about it. I started laughing. Again, I had the experience that night at the Rose Bowl. I was sitting there and I'm like, man, I have never
100,000 people, right?
100,000. There probably was 120,000. Honestly, it was so many people. I have never sat like that in a stadium ever. The experience was amazing. The roar of Michigan and Alabama, that amazing experience.
Yeah,
but they don't want that. That doesn't make them money. They don't care about the experience and providing a memory at that point. All they care about is the luxury box in SoFi now, while they're having protests on campus and supporting a bunch of fucking idiot moron college students who are preaching everything that's against that. So which one is it? You can't have both. You can't have both. Got to have one or the other. So make up your mind. You want to be a
And the
piece of
last words
shit?
I want to hear are student athletes. I really got that term. You need to throw that away because yes, I
Some are
understand
student
that
athletes, but the really good
Well,
ones
no,
are
no.
not. They're
They-
hired.
they-
They're mercenaries now.
they use they're mercenaries
Yeah,
and good
that's
for them,
weird.
good for these kids because they need to cash in on some of these like what was put in the chat, that $220 million that UT makes. Legend will tell you that Georgia, they make hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. These kids should be cashing it. I have no problems with that, but when it seems convenient, Legend, when the NCAA makes their rules or rulings or whatever decisions, they always try to include the word student athletes. And I'm like thinking, okay, if you have a kid from USC or UCLA traveling for a conference game all the way across the country to Rutgers in New Jersey
It's professional
for a
sport,
conference
man.
game, that tells me you do not care about the student part of that student athlete, Legend.
I agree. 'Cause you would not be traveling that far if you really, really cared. It's all about the money. You know, if you go up there, you're gonna bring in big
It's
revenue.
like Georgia to
The name
Texas.
Georgia is everywhere.
Yeah.
Man,
Georgia
like-
to Texas, and that's even
That's
a
a
flight.
rort.
Yeah.
From what you're telling me, this whole system's a rort, man. Like I said, we don't have any of that in Australia. We've got professional sport, and then you've got like semi-professional, or your next run down, they can actually make decent money. Where they've sort of tried to hide that in America through this college system for a while. Now there's money involved. Man, you need a rocket science degree to understand it. It's like if you haven't grown up with it, guys, like we've got none of this here. That's why when Joe was talking about it, I'm just like, where are we? Like, what's going on? Because it's very convoluted, man, and they probably need to unwind some of it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly. Like Theo said it. Shout out to Theo. How will student athletes study traveling from USC to Iowa City, although Iowa City to USC, and then go to Minnesota, where where the weather it's inclement. You're from LA. You don't know what's going on. Are you prepared for that? It's just they stopped caring about the student part of student athletes a long time ago.
And they care about filling in the boxes.
Yeah.
You look at the hiring practices for a lot of these guys, and they care about filling the boxes. And they have to put this thing of, ooh, this is the first guy to ever do that. Like, asshole, did you hire the right guy? Or are you trying to get points? Like, who the... I went and saw the application for USC and UCLA before I decided to go to San Diego State because I saw how much the freaking tuition was. I wanted to go to USC or UCLA. Like, those were the three.
At USC, Joe.
I'm like, and this was back in the 90s and it was expensive, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you are an established like institution. Like, why are you accommodating to anyone? For what? For who? For the people around LA? The same people who have destroyed that city with their decisions? And I'm not talking about East LA, and I'm not talking about the Valley in LA, East LA, South Central. No. Actually, believe it or not, those places are actually sort of normal. It's Beverly Hills. It's Santa Monica. Those assholes that have screwed up LA. Because almost all those assholes have turned those areas into... I told you the story. I had two low boys working in Beverly Hills. They got fucking jacked by the city. Not by fees, by the city. Oh, you can't have these. You have to go through our guy. I go, motherfucker, couldn't you have told me that? Couldn't you have come and talked to my foreman and said, hey, you can't have this. You have to get this out of here and rent it? No, they just come and jack it. I had to pay $1,500 to get those things out of impound. They weren't even mine. I rented them. So why do I get heated? Why do I get upset? Why do I keep telling you guys about this shit? Because they talk out of one asshole and they say something else in the main asshole here. And it all trickles down to all that stuff. There are people. So the house I worked on for 3 months, the lady that owns that house, she left. She had lived there for 20 years. She's like, fuck this place. I can't wipe my ass without somebody talking about taxing me for it. I'm like, how the hell do they see you wiping your ass through the walls? They're like, they got fucking cameras everywhere. No. All this shit, you can sit there and say it's greed and all that. Yeah, that plays a part. It's not even that. It's stupidity. It's the allowance of putting in people who don't belong in those positions so you can fill a box. When you don't hire the right people and you can't fire the right... UCLA had an athletic director between 2003 and 2020. The same athletic... They haven't done jack shit. And then they hired another guy in 2020 who's done nothing. This is 20 years now. And you look at what they said when they hired this guy. Oh, this is the first jerk off we've ever hired that's come here. He came from this area. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with him being able to do the job? So what is it? What do you want me to say? It just cracks me up that this is when I heard this 3 weeks ago, I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, these assholes are trying to get out of the Rose Bowl so they can make more money at SoFi. This is the same dickheads that created this problem. The same people, and now they want out of it. Just like the dickheads in Beverly Hills, in Santa Monica, before the fire, by the way, not this year, before the fires. They were all moving to Florida. They were all moving to Texas, right? Why? Oh, they were getting taxed. They were getting taxed for walking their dogs. This is what you get. Eat it, sit in it, stew in it. You created this. Stop blaming the politicians. Stop blaming the administrators. It's your fucking fault. Fix it now. Why do we have to have the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court has 10 billion things more pressing right now than to deal with some stupid-ass administration wanting to go play in another stadium. Like, seriously, this is what it comes to? They needed to go to the Supreme Court to tell them, go back in your room, assholes. Go. That's what they need, right? Because they're all fucking children. God, I love this stuff. I love it. Danny, you are the man. I'm going to hang out with you later. He's in California, by the way.
There you go. No worries. You got that, Danny. Go ahead, Legend. I'm sorry.
I was saying somebody brought up Pac-12. Man, that conference is terrible.
Dude, that conference. So didn't we hear that they wanted to go to the Big Ten? They wanted to go to the Big Ten. UCLA wanted to go to the Big Ten.
Come on.
That was another comedy act. Like, Big Ten? You guys want to go to the Big Ten?
Man.
Go to the Big Ten. I want to see. What was the score today? Ohio State, UCLA. I didn't get a chance to see it. Huh?
48-10.
This is what you want, right? You care about the experience. You just want to get your ass whipped by Ohio State every year
because they couldn't get the Pac-12 couldn't get their act together and accept a deal from ESPN on a money deal. So that's when they decided to all break up. So
people are full of shit. Highly recommend you guys. So again, I'm the heat is on right now, but I'm fine. This is just how I talk. I can't tell you how much better you live your life when you can tell people when they're stupid. It's better in real life. Guys at UCLA, the chancellors and all, they don't give a fuck what I think, which is fine. This is for us. But in your life, like when somebody says something stupid and you know it's wrong, you gotta be able to say something. It really, because if you let it go, they're gonna keep doing it to the next guy. If you become that fixer there, they're gonna remember you, and they'll think twice. At the very least, they'll think about you. If they're full of shit, I almost got in a fight with a guy. 6 months ago because of this shit, telling me where the sprinkler was in his yard. I already knew why his sprinklers were in his yard, because you have lazy developers. And he got pissed because I kept correcting him. Now, he apologized for it, and we were fine after that. But the point is, if I know something and you're talking out your ass, there is a level of when I'll say something. I'll always say something like, no, and I'll do it in a professional way normally. But if you're stupid and you're kind of, I can tell you're one of those guys that just thinks out of his ear, I might put in a little bit more mustard on it. I'll be like, listen, this is wrong. What you just said is wrong. This is what happened, and this is why. Stop being nice. Tell people the truth. The truth will set you free.
Intel Wild, appreciate the super chat. But before we go
Hell
out,
yeah.
we'll do basketball relay. We'll get Xbox back in this conversation. We always want to go back and forth on MVP.
I'm up.
You got to give a shout out to Russell Westbrook too, man.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook for MVP. There,
25,000 points, 10,000
Shout out to
assists.
everyone in chat, man.
Yeah, chat has been great.
Search has
Great.
been great.
Thank you.
Everyone,
But
Man, fired, man.
before we heading out, your guys' thoughts on MVP. Do you have a top 5 that you're just starting to formulate? Xbox, I'll start with you, my friend, because you've been talking
won't
so
name
much about
5.
college athletics. I want to make sure to get you back.
I was just like, nah, I love it. Like, I love listening to you boys and learning about stuff that I don't know. So that was an eye opener for me, and it just makes me. Maybe I need to go back to college to get another degree to understand it, but we'll worry about that later. Look, for me, I won't name 5, but wow, what a crazy numbers that we're seeing from some of these boys, man. Like, you look at Joker's stat line, if he doesn't have a triple-double with like 30 points now, it's like he's had a bad game. Luka, if he doesn't score 35 to 40 points, bad game. SGA, same scenario. Giannis today didn't look great, but he's had some phenomenal performances as well. So I don't know, man. Honestly, for me, Gerald, all I care about is Lakers, and I want us to keep rolling, which puts Luka in contention for MVP. Luka, he might struggle because we do have other sort of ball dominant players like an AR, like a LeBron that might take away, when I say struggle, might take away some of that MVP billing for someone like a Joker that can dominate more. Honestly, I don't know, man. But for me, Luka, Joker, SGA, it's all the same names. Giddy's right up there too. So
Yeah, they've been struggling in Chicago. I'll say.
yeah, I know. And you keep pointing that out. I think
They started out great. You had me on the Giddy train.
Know.
I caught on to the caboose.
Yeah,
I was on
he's
it.
still in,
And then they started
contention.
to lose.
I know, which is inevitable. But Luka, for me, has played really well. That's my main focus. Hopefully, he can have an MVP season. But there's just some really great individual players in terms of their stats right now. So it's just tough to know.
Legend, you got any thoughts on MVP?
It's a tight race right now. This is an interesting race. If I had to do, I don't know if I could do top 5, but I could certainly do a top 3. I almost want to say, man, I almost want to say it's Jokic to SGA right now for 1. It's just back and forth between those 2. And they're winning too, so just add on to it. And then I got to go to Luka at number 3. But to me, those are the top 3 right now. Thinking that's what's going to be the battle for MVP. It's going to be between those 3. And who knows, SGA going to make a really good repelling argument. You have a strong argument if they win 70 games. It's going to be hard to top it if they pull that off.
Joe, you could comment on the MVP, but I also wanted to ask you, it was said in the chat, asked in the chat, your thoughts on LeBron coming back. Does he mess things up or will he fit right in? It's basically, I think we heard the other day, will he be fitting out like he told Luka to fit out, to just play his style and everybody play towards him? Or do you think he becomes, when he comes back, does it become an issue for the Lakers going forward?
If LeBron wants this season to work out for him, he needs to take a back seat in terms of minutes. So by just him not playing the additional 17 minutes in a game, I think will benefit him for playoff time when he can be at full throttle, because he has run out of gas the last 2 seasons. If he's not smart enough to understand that, then yeah, that might not work out. But I'm fully prepared for things not to go the right way, because that's just kind of what seems to always happen every now and then with LeBron. But I have a feeling that I think going likely into his last season, especially as a Laker, I think he's going to want to take advantage of the fact that he does have a couple guys already that are on the team, and they've been playing pretty well, guys. They're 10-4, and he's gonna be allotted the minutes restriction without the negativity from it. This team can win without him playing, which is, I'm trying to figure out when this has never really happened. When LeBron isn't playing, usually his teams suck. So if LeBron wants to win a championship this year, play 29 minutes. That's it. And then you can play whatever you want in the playoffs. After that, I don't give a shit. After that, he wants to play 35, 40 minutes, go win a championship. Cool. But we need LeBron to win a title this year based off the current roster. We have to have him play well. And the only way I believe he's going to play well when it matters is he's got to be scaled back tremendously, not a little bit. He's going to miss 16 games likely because I think he's going to come back for the Clippers game. He has to play minimal minutes,
Man.
and then be ready for the playoffs.
Is he capable of doing that himself, though?
Good question.
That's going to be we're going to see that. If he doesn't, then he's everything it'll be proof that he has been a detriment to his own cause in a lot of ways. The problem with LeBron isn't, he played more, he played with more competition, or he played against super teams, blah, blah, blah. No. The issue with LeBron is there have been times where he wasn't playing super teams and still didn't come through. LeBron has, in my view, been his own worst enemy and has had too many duds for a guy that talented. And that isn't because it's physical, it's mental. The mental part for a lot of these guys, if I had to use the Dodgers as an example, guys, I mean, you look at somebody like Kike Hernandez. Did you know that play in Game 6 that he caught and threw out Barger?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know he did not follow the card? He didn't follow the analytical card. He actually came up. That would have been a bloop single if he hadn't done that. That game would have been over. They would have lost the World Series.
Yeah, man.
They would have lost the World Series
if he
hadn't done that.
If he doesn't go for it.
If he doesn't say, fuck that, I'm going to come up a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't put a price when this is telling you things. Guys, I can't tell you enough. Your instincts. So the instincts that Dave Roberts had, putting in Pages when he did. Dude, he put Pages in. At some point, it can't just be luck. You can't have 7 things happen and it be, he got lucky. 7 times? Whether it was Rojas throwing out somebody, whether it was Rojas hitting a home run, whether it was Pages catching the ball. Like, which one is it? Which one is it, guys? It can't. Lucky is 1 time, maybe 2. But it was like everything he did those last 2 games worked out. That's not luck. That's instinct. And the players have to have that too. Pages is instinct to say, I don't give a shit what Kike's doing here. I got the angle. I'm going to catch this. You can't put a price on clutch.
Joe Yamo, when he went and got the ball in the second last out, that was crazy. He ran straight for the ball and threw it to, obviously, Freddie at first base and got him out, man. You look at that.
Was a horrible, horrible strategy by Schneider. When I saw that, my eyes went up. I'm like, dude, they just gave him an out.
Yeah, I know.
No one else could run after that.
Yeah.
Right? I knew Kirk was coming. I'm like, dude, they're going to walk Barger now because righty-lefty and all that. I go, dude, they're going to put Kirk in a position where he has to – Yamamoto's going to give him that pitch, and he's going to end up grounding it out. I just – instincts again. Watch. I hadn't missed a game all year, guys. I didn't miss a spring training game. The only game I missed wasn't televised, and it was a dual spring training game where they split the teams, right? I watched every single Dodger game this year. Every single one. I had never done that in my entire life. Every single one. And look at You're telling me that Dave Roberts wasn't going to have something at some point? You're not going to tell me that Kike had a feeling or Pies had a feeling? Look, it's about feel. It's about, at the end, what are you going to do to win? So LeBron needs to understand. If he doesn't understand, I'd like to think he does. He needs to play the minimal amount of minutes and to be as effective as he can, because you have everyone else on this team that's in their mid-20s and they can play. Today we were talking about it, Gerald, before you came on. Like, what is this back-to-back bullshit? Is Luka going to play? He's 26. What do you mean he's not going to play? These guys are supposed to play every game at 26.
But the fact we have to question it is where we're at in 2025.
It is stupid. It is a stupid discussion.
And we spoke about it today, because you'd think a player of, Luka's stature would just say, nah, guys, I'm playing. But the young superstars just aren't like that now. It's hard to get your head around. Like a guy like Luka, you should just be saying, I'm playing. No matter what the doctors say, no matter what your analytics say, I'm playing. But the young guys aren't like that, guys. So, but to their credit, man, they rocked up tonight, Gerald, and they, we won. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come in terms of back-to-backs and stuff, because I'm sorry, they're too young to not be playing back-to-backs, these guys. They're like LeBron, fine.
Well, what hurts more, Mark, is the fact that they have 3 days off until their next game, and then another 5 days off until the game.
That's right. So
you couldn't plan this out better.
Exactly. Yeah, I know it's a worry. It's a worry. It sucks.
So 805, I'm gonna put it simply here. Current Dodger team, your favorite sports team of all time? That's a great question. My favorite sports teams that have won between the Steelers, Lakers, and Dodgers would be like asking me which kid do I love the most. It's impossible. But I will say this. And I never thought in a million years I'd be more nervous than Game 3 against Denver in 2009, Game 7 against the Celtics, the Super Bowls that I watched. I have never been destroyed from a tension situation more in any sport, in any game, than Game 6 and Game 7. I was taxed.
My daughter was shaking just today.
I was taxed. I couldn't even watch. I didn't watch 2/3 of Game 6 and didn't watch half of Game 7. I was so messed up. My chest felt like it was caving in. It was so bad. I couldn't watch. I was falling on my stat thing on score. I couldn't. I was dying. I'm like, I'm going to fucking have a heart attack like a fucking idiot over a stupid-ass baseball game. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? If I saw somebody doing what I was doing, I would have laughed in their face. I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? Like, relax. So,
that's funny.
By far, I had never in a million. And there's no competition. I don't think there ever will be, because I will never be this taxed. This was it. This was the final one. Even next year, if they're fighting for a three-peat, I don't think I'll ever feel like this again. This was a once-in-a-lifetime damage that I did. And it started after that. It was because of the 18-inning game. I think if the 18-inning game didn't do what it did, I don't think I would have been as bad. But this series messed up my health a lot. but the euphoria, the dopamine, whatever you want to call it, afterwards, I feel like it healed it, though. It went to the extreme, and then now I can't stop watching Dodger stuff right now. I still can't. I'm still watching stuff every day.
I've told you.
Giannis is asking you, Mark, who are your top 3 NBA players of all time?
Top 3 all time?
Only Mark.
You go to everyone. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to go off fandom, not necessarily the GOAT conversation, guys. So let's not go there. But Pau Gasol's always going to be. Yeah. Pau's number 1 for me in terms of my favorite players of all time. And then Hakeem Olajuwon's number 2. And then I've got to put my boy Kobe, man. That's it. That's my top 3.
There you go. I did want to give a shout out before I send it to you, Joe, and you can send us on home. Thank you for everyone who voted for Sean Magic Man Grice's New Jersey. It is Luka Doncic with over 100 votes. It is, wow. appreciate everybody participating in it. We were worried for a little while that Bronny would be the victor in this, but no. His next jersey will be Luka Doncic. All yours, Joe. Appreciate everyone for watching the whole night.
Thank you for being on the Lakers Fast Break / the experiment, which is pretty much what it turned out today, with a lot of outside influence. Great questions, great answers, good insults too tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for
No
being.
Vari.
Well, I think I didn't want to say that, but I think it was the perfect night for my friend Mark in the Gold Coast. Our friend Vari was kind of sort of MIA. I think he did make some comments at the beginning of the show, but Mark didn't have to hear his voice, which I think is the benefit for him.
The Australians tonight. I saw a little bit of Alan. Didn't see Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy. He's here, and Aussie. I didn't see Aussie as well.
It's Sunday here. Maybe they're out. Man? I don't know, man. I'm here. Hey. I was everywhere Sunday, today, so I'm repping for all the Aussies, but it's Sunday here, so you know, like sometimes you boys are a bit quiet on a Sunday, are they? They might be doing stuff with the family or whatever. So, and you know, as well, Gerald, it looked like a blowout too. Like we were 30 points up at halftime. You know, people might have just thought it was in the bag. So, shout out to all the Aussies, but just quickly, shout out to everyone in chat. Danny, I haven't seen Danny in a long time. Shout out to you, Danny, Search, Jay, everyone, man. Tony hates the name Xbox for some reason, but it's not really it's not a console war thing, Tony. It's a bit of an inside joke. So all good, but man, stoked, absolutely stoked, boys. Saturday and Sunday in Australia, we got back-to-back wins. So I go into my working week on an absolute high. And yeah, we just got to keep rolling. And the good thing about tonight was the performance, because Joe was sort of a little bit worried over the last few games, even though we got a couple of wins. I know we lost to OKC, but there was a drop off in performance. Tonight, man, hey guys, 30 points, halftime leads against the caliber of the Bucks away. Man, it's pretty sick. Like, we can't sort of take it for granted. So great performance by everyone tonight, not just Luka. Everyone, you know, I know John wasn't impressed by LaRavia, but LaRavia is just a part of a mix. I don't really care if he scores no points, but we win. He's a part of a mix of players that are going to score sometimes, aren't going to score other times. You know, he is an important part of the defending, Gerald. Like,
well, I think it comes down to this, Mark. Let me just real quick. With any player outside of the top three for the Lakers, it just comes down to this. Does it make the team better when they're on the court? We see it, and you know, it's right there. When Bronny or Maxi Kleber come on the court, no, they aren't better. But when you ask yourself, is Jake LaRavia make the team better when he comes on the court against other reserves, what have you? But when these players, when you talk about the contribution they make to the team, do they make the Lakers better overall? That's all. And if he does, then there you go. I just don't know why John is so like he's already had it with Jake LaRavia, and I'm just like, it's game 14, man.
John's always, he's strong in his convictions. So
he is.
Give it to him, but maybe like the GOAT combo, he might get this one wrong too.
He still wants Austin coming off the bench.
I know. There's a lot of people like that.
I had that conversation with Austin. Yeah, you tell him that.
Yeah.
You tell him that.
I'm still waiting for Lloyd Avenue to rock back up after another bad Austin performance. He did a couple of weeks ago, but hasn't shown himself for a bit. But you can't really complain with what Austin's doing. You can look into it and say, oh, man, there's a worry there for playoffs and things like that. But geez, he's an undrafted guy that just keeps giving us whatever he can. And some of the threes tonight were sick too.
Oh, we love John. Much love to John and Lakers.
Oh yeah, John.
Yeah. Despite the fact his greatest of all time is not our greatest of all time, but we'll leave it at that.
But, hell yeah, great win, boys. Great win.
Yeah, great job by everyone. Great job by you guys. Crew on playback, and then everybody in the chat here. Cannot thank you enough. Almost 3 hours in, guys. Great job. Joe, whenever you're ready, my friend.
Thank you all for being here tonight, this evening, this morning, wherever you are around the world, and you are watching the Lakers Fast Break on YouTube. Have a good night. Dan, Dan, Dan.
I notice how your tone sounds a little bit chippier when we win.
Everyone takes the same stupid lame pictures on social media.